everyone, welcome to Truth or Dare. How are you guys doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing great.
Pretty good.
Look how amazing these witches look, they're so cute! As soon as I saw them in the call, I lost my shit. So, welcome to our Halloween holiday special over here on Roll4It. We hope that you enjoy it. And of course, if you do, if you're watching on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. If you're watching here live, make sure you give us a good follow here on Twitch. We have some fun announcements to share with you and some big ones. So I first want to give a shout out to our supporter for today, which is Kirby. Thank you, Kirby, so much. You've supported us for quite a long time. We really, really appreciate it. Lots of roll love for you. Let's get some roll love spammed up in chat for the wonderful Kirby. And of course, all of you who are watching, we really appreciate it. I'm nervous, can you tell? And of course, we wanted to let you guys know what else is up on our Patreon, because that is how you can support us. VTM character sheets are up there, Camille's debrief, so you get to find out what she's been up to for the past 10 years. And then, of course, NPC names posts are up on Patreon as well, so if you haven't gotten your name in, definitely get your name in, so Enter Elysium and Mathis Games can murder them all, you know. Or maybe if your name's good enough, they will survive, I don't know. Sometimes characters have the strangest names and GMs get inspired and create a character that everyone just loves so much. So sometimes they last a little longer than the others, you know. And then we have a big one. You guys ready? I want to see the chat just filled with roll hypes in chat. I need to see the spam of roll hype before I do this. Yeah, you need a little drum roll before this next announcement, because this next announcement's pretty sweet. And yes, more hype. We need to fill all the hype in here. There we go. All right, just keep it going the entire time that I do this, okay? We just need it to continue to go. All right, ready? Are you ready? Roll4It Con 2019. That's right. We're doing this for a second year because of our wonderful supporters, so thank you so much. This year, it's going to be in Chester, UK, the same as usual, but we announced it a little earlier because we know people had asked for it a little earlier. I know last time we only announced it 2 weeks before it was happening. Now you have a month plus. So it will be November 29th to December 1st, 2019. We will have special guests that are joining us, and here's who you'll get to meet this year. Ooh, music got real loud. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Music is really creepy for this, so I don't... All right, our special guests this year are... Oh. There we go. We have Bentham Plays. Little Red Dot will be joining us. Enter Elysium, of course. I will be there, so if you want to come meet me. Gaming FTL will be joining us once again, and Peachy Pixelate will be someone who is new who's joining us. And last but not least, the Bubbernaut will be also joining us. So we have a whole slew. We're adding an extra person into the mix of everything. So last year we were able to bring 6 people. This year we are bringing 7. Thanks to all of you for all of the wonderful support. That means we will have live shows with our entire cast. We get to be in the same room together, and then we get to listen to Josh's stomach make weird noises. It's gonna be great. We are looking still, I know, because this is in the UK, we're looking for, another opportunity for US, but really it's a budget constraint. So, if we get more supporters and we're able to support another convention that's in the US, we may do that as well. So stay tuned on that front. And of course, our schedule, we will be doing the meet and greet at the All Bar 1 on November 29th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. That will be that address over there. We are, working with them to have a little buffet this year. So you'll actually have food. You'll have to pay for your own drinks because we're not paying for those. And then November 30th, we will have Star Games returning, but this time it's going to be a long show. We are doing extended shows on both Saturday and Sunday. So our Star Games show will be intense and lots of fun. EE and I are going to come back as the casters. They're creepy and terrible moon people who like to murder people, so it's great. December 1st, we'll be doing an extended special edition of Blades in the Dark with some new people, so it'll be really exciting. Yeah, the Mooncasters. So that's kind of what we've got going on. So thank you all for withstanding my intro there. Sorry, the intro video is still going. There we go. So, without further ado, I'm going to toss it over to Bentham just to quickly talk about how you can support us, and I will get all of that stuff rocking and rolling on the Patreon and get you guys links and announcements, and yeah. So go for it, Bentham.
I can't possibly follow up on that awesomeness, but I'll do my best. The way that that we are able to do all this awesome stuff, the way that you can support us and allow us to pay our cast and do crazy things like fly a bunch of our cast to the UK to do awesome in-person events, is through Patreon. That is how we are funded, pretty much entirely. And you can support us there at various different tiers, various different rewards, all sorts of different things you can get, including MP3s of all the shows that you can listen to after shows. After every show, we recorded a show where we talk about what happened in the show, and I say show a lot, and then occasionally talk about random other stuff as well that's got nothing to do with the show. It's always look at the draw, roll the dice to see what we end up actually going on about. Also, character sheets. All the show's characters will get put in sheet form on the Patreon, so you can see exactly what their stats were and things. Maybe you can even play them yourselves in your own campaigns at home. Also, behind the scenes GM things, secret plots and plans that GMs make, and the notes they make to help them GM the campaigns. You can get
And I will have
exactly
notes for this. They're 15 pages long.
you
Prepare
go.
yourself. A lot of it's photos
Of course
too,
they are.
photo inspirations, but yeah.
Maggie does more prep for a one shot than most people do for entire campaigns. So there you go. Whenever Maggie does GMing, you know you're gonna get tons of notes, loads of extra Patreon content. Also, NPCs. You get to submit names that can be used for NPCs that can then end up showing up in the shows, potentially dying immediately or potentially becoming major parts of the plot. Either has happened regularly.
Hey, Bentham.
Also,
Everybody says that they can't hear you, man. But I hear you just fine. Can everybody hear Bentham just fine?
I said that he's quiet.
He sounds
Everybody
fine
says
to
that he's
me.
quiet.
But he sounds fine to me as well.
Sounds fine to me.
You're coming loud and clear through to us, sir.
Oh. Is it just that?
Ishmirjum?
I can have a. Yeah, I can give. Oh. It was an automatic use
It's
volume. Is
probably
that
on
better?
the OBS then.
Oh, I bet that's it.
It's
Put
probably on the
myself
OBS
slightly
then.
louder.
Oh, yeah, it's the OBS. Woo. That's why. There you go.
Testing. Test.
Yeah,
test for us.
I
Are
can
we
tell
good
in the,
now?
I can tell in the meters. Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. You're good.
Hopefully you heard all that, because I can't remember everything I said. Yes, continuing on. You can also
Now there's
get
an echo.
Oh.
Oh no.
There shouldn't be an echo.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
probably because it was coming through me because he was talking loud.
Yeah, I hear it through your mic. Okay, so also, if you're crazy and you support it to super high tiers like Legend and Data tier, then you get to take part in a monthly game GM'd by a member of the cast. It's not streamed; it's just a private game that you can be a part of. The most recent one we had was Teens in Space, GM'd by Little Red Dot. Apparently, people enjoyed that a lot. I don't know what happened in it yet. I need to catch up on the events.
It was lots of fun. It was shenanigans. It was teens in space shenanigans.
I can imagine it was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing.
Yes, as well as all that, any supporter on the Patreon gets to be in our Discord server, where you can chat with other members of the community about the awesome stuff that happens in the shows. Other ways you can support us are through Twitch. You can become a Twitch subscriber. You get the same Discord benefits if you do that. Also, you get a cool badge, and you get to use all our awesome emotes in the Twitch chat as well as in the Discord. And then also you can support with tips. When you do so, the messages will appear on the screen, and we'll read them out at the end. And thank you for being awesome. Also, you can drop bits. They go in the cup in the corner and explode in a physics-based fashion, which is always fun to do. And you can always put thematically relevant bits in there. Are there any witch-based bits? Are there like witch hat bits? Gotta be something like that, right?
There should
Especially in October.
There probably
There-
is something like that, but I don't have it set up. That
Ghosts.
way.
I think I've seen ghosts, so we have ghosts.
Yeah, there's a spoopy. There's a spoopy.
There you go. So there you can fill the cup with ghosts, make it overflow with ghosts. Too many damn ghosts. The show can fit so many ghosts in it. Also, you can support us on YouTube. People watching on YouTube, you can become a YouTube member, which will also give you the same kind of benefits in YouTube premiere chats. When we do premieres of new shows, you can get a cool badge and use cool emotes during the chats there. And also that gives you the Discord access too. So everyone gets to join the Discord and talk about the awesome stuff that happens. And that is all the things. Of course, if you can't or don't want to support us monetarily, just being here is also awesome. Every viewer that shows up helps us out. And then also, if you tell your friends, that's super awesome because we get to have more people watch the show. Make sure to let everyone know about the cool stuff we do.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bentham. You gave me just enough time to get everything live.
Nailed it.
I was frantically like... You normally like EE and Bentham handle that part, like running the show and stuff, and then I'm able to just like do all the social media. Whew, we made it, everybody. We made it. Now we get to go to the show. Is everyone ready? I want to do a preface that this is a Halloween special edition. We are probably going to touch on subjects that will make you feel really uncomfortable. There will be lots of scary stuff that is probably really creepy and not, not nice things. There's some things that happened that are not nice. So if at any point you ever feel uncomfortable or something, or you need to like step away, you're so welcome to. We will not, we understand, and then you can come back whenever you're ready again. Or maybe if it's not your thing, we totally understand. But we hope that you enjoy it. For those of you who are into a little bit more of a thrilling, creepy horror story. Is everyone ready?
As I'll ever be.
All right.
Ready.
Dot has her hat on, so you know shit's getting real. All right, here we go. There's something about the things that bump in the night that draws some nearer. Perhaps it's the mystery of what looms in the darkness. Or maybe it's the feeling of adrenaline rushing through your nervous systems. Whatever it may be, the temptation is there, and that's what brings us the thrilling stories we so crave. This story begins in the town of Talford, a small, quaint village with a main street that hustles and bustles during the day. But once the moon's light falls upon it, the candles are dimmed and the streets grow cold. But that of the residential areas begins to feel the warmth and light as homes fill up to the brim with families and happiness. Well, for some. Our camera pans in on a park where a group of teenagers sit on play sets as if they were furniture, with an empty bottle of cream soda sitting in the middle of them. One of them, a young boy with red hair, freckles that can be seen in the dim light of the park, and a smirk that gives, and would give anyone, the feeling that he might be up to no good, leans in to grab the bottle and spins it. The bottle spins quickly, and all the children lean in, awaiting who the opening will land upon. Its spinning starts off fast, as he uses force with his spin. The young adolescents grin eagerly at one another, and after moments, the bottle slowly slows down until it spins ever so slowly and lands on... You know what? Dot, since you're the first witch next to me, roll me a 1d3, or 1d4, to see who the bottle spins on. Looks like Philippa. Philippa, feeling the pressure as all of her companions have already said dare, listens in nervously as Alfred Vanderwolf leans into her and says, "Truth or dare?"
Well, I guess we'll go with dare.
Awesome. I dare you to stay one night in the old Halifax Manor. Come on, don't be a wuss. We all did our dares. I ate that cat poop.
But by myself?
Well, I guess you could bring somebody else with you.
I don't think anybody had to do something like this. I don't think it would be right for me to just go by myself. Maybe... Would somebody want to volunteer to come with me?
Did someone say sleepover in a creepy mansion?
Yeah, a sleepover. That kind of makes it sound better, right? We could make it fun. It doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah, I don't see what all the fuss is about. This seems like a piece of cake to me.
Well, I guess if you're all going, then so am I.
Your enthusiasm. It is poignant.
That's the spirit.
I mean, someone has to stay out. I mean, to make sure that if you guys don't come back in the morning, that, people know of it.
Alfred, if you're afraid, you can just say so.
I'm not afraid.
But you would like to volunteer to stay behind.
Hey, I'm the one that got to say the dare. I just ate the cat poop. Fair and square?
Well, then you and the cat poop can stay here.
You did seem like you liked it after all.
You engorged yourself.
I didn't
We all
like
saw
it.
it.
I didn't like it. He says, but you could tell that he did.
Explains the shit-eating grin.
All right. The 4 children walk up to Halifax Manor. Or 5 children, I guess. Standing in front of this manor, you can see this large 2-story building. It has this ominous feel to it. There are these trees that line the front of the yard. They have no leaves on them. It is fall, after all, but there's something about them that's a little creepy. Like, they're all so close together and so thin and frail. It looks as almost though, if you took like a flower and you just grabbed to the end of it, you pulled all of the things off of it and stripped it naked. There's a cold chill in the air, and you can see your breath as you breathe slowly. Or maybe for some of you, more quickly. There's leaves all around the ground, and it looks as though no one has really probably tended to this yard in a long time. As you walk closer to the house, you can hear the crunching of the leaves beneath your feet. And you make your way to the porch. The porch has these old pillars in front of it and a door with a large knocker. And you stand in front of there. There's cobwebs in the corner. Doesn't look like it's been kept up. There's leaves that are all across the porch as well.
Well, this is my dare, so I guess I'll be the one to go in first. And I'll walk up and just kind of very quietly push the door open or pull it open if it's open.
Pull the door open, but the door doesn't budge. It appears that perhaps it's locked.
Well, it's locked, so I guess, we can't go in. And I will turn back. Maybe it's time for a new dare.
Oh, come on. We could go through a window or something. I'm gonna just kick the thing hard enough.
We can't just break into a house. I mean, if it was open, then I'd say, sure, we could do it. Now it's just a crime. Here. Now it's just a crime if we break in.
We don't have to break anything. We can just... I can start. I have a spell for this.
Oh, me too. Perfect. You first.
What is Maggie? Is the door? Is it like completely flush at the bottom, or can I potentially push something underneath the door?
You could probably push it has enough space where you could put like an envelope underneath the door or something like that. Like something thin for sure. Yeah.
Could I put one of my mirror squares?
Yeah, you could put one of your. I like that. I like where you're going with this. All right.
Okay. I will pull a small square mirror from my pocket, probably like 1 inch by 1 inch, and I'll push it under the door and draw another one from my pocket. And since this is my first time, you're gonna have to correct me. How do the spells work here?
So, spells are really interesting in this game. You can make up a spell at any moment. Normally you start with 2 spells, but I've allowed them to start with 4 because it is a one-shot and I want them to have some cool things to play around with. Normally when you first cast your spell, it would be at level 0, but because these witches are, you know, a little bit more experienced, they're teenagers who have been in school maybe for a year or 2, they are allowed to have a little bit extra. So on your sheet, before you roll your roll, you're gonna add up any attributes that you think will help you, then subtract any attributes that you think are disadvantages, and then add any story elements as bonuses, and then you'll roll. So let's see your character sheet really quick. And you're casting looking through the glass,
Through
right?
the looking glass. Yeah, through the looking glass.
So there's a little chat box that says description. You can actually paste that in chat, and chat will be able to read what that spell is. There you go. Nice. And when you roll, you're going to hit the little roll. But first, let's look at your attributes. Everyone is welcome to look at everyone's character sheets. You can help each other out, and sometimes your attributes can help another witch as well. In the situation of maybe that witch is trying to cast something on you, right? So like keep that in mind as you're doing things. So for you, you're trying to cast something that allows you to kind of like teleport or move to the place that the other mirror is at, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I don't know if any of your, maybe thin would help you because you're going to be able to like get through somewhere quickly.
Okay.
Confident, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
bold. I think those are 2 things because like you're like, I'm going to go through this creepy place that I've never been before. Maybe those 2. So that's +3 already. I don't think any of the other ones really help. Does anyone else think? I don't think any of them hinder you either.
No, that was the one that I think that was the big one that I was looking at. What is your spell book like? Okay, well, that was not what I was expecting, but that's fine.
Oh yeah, describe what your spell book looks like as you slide the mirror under the little mirror part underneath the door, and then you open up your spell book.
It was a spell book gifted to me by my dad, who clearly doesn't know me, but it's a purple and fuzzy spell book, and it's just going to work for now, at least until I can save up enough for what I want.
Okay. What does she actually want?
She would probably want something much darker, probably like a dark leather, even larger book for more spells.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll this ability. And do I just add 3 to it, or how does that work?
Yep. So that it'll pop up. So when you hit the roll, it'll pop up with a box that you can put your additions on.
Yep.
And then you'll hit it and we'll see what you roll.
Critical success.
Oh, that is like rare. That okay.
What a start.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Holy
First roll of the game.
I think we went like a full entire game for like
A whole season.
8 episodes with only 1 crit.
Woo!
So what does that mean? Does it like immediately level up?
No.
Okay.
On an 18 plus is a critical success. This is a really great success because it's actually a 20. The witch does the action exceedingly well and describes it. When it makes sense for the story, the witch may choose one of the coven and change one of the witch's characteristics or give them a new one. So you can actually give someone else a extra attribute, basically. And if you go to your character sheets in the About Me section, you can see how you can add personalities, add likes, add hates, those kind of things. Now you can give someone else something else. So this is potential for someone else to get an extra +1 on something, right? Or a -1. Yeah.
Cool. Then, as I step through the looking glass, I look to Philippa, if you will, and I say, it's not so bad. Tough it out. And I'm going to add brave.
Woo!
Ooh. Okay.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, I'll
Add brave
add that.
to your sheet. You can add it in personalities.
Perfect.
And you tell us what it looks like as you do this, as you cast your spell, Hendrix.
Sure. After pushing the square under the door, and I draw another one from my pocket, it's just its go-to is just like a circular thumb roll, like you might expect on a joystick of a game controller, and then a wink, and then it's just into the glass, and the glass will drop to the ground.
Nice.
And I'm on the other
Well,
side.
You all watch as this happens. And now that you're on the other side, do you look around, or what is your intention?
Well, most of this is actually false bravado. I just know that someone's got to go through with it, so I immediately unlock the door.
Okay, you don't even look around. You kind of, as you teleport into this room, you feel a swarm of dust kind of like rapture around you, and through the dim light, because it's evening, it's like the moonlight, you can see like a little bit of light coming through like a stained glass window, and you can see, you know, when you can see dust kind of floating in the air, you see a little bit of that around you, and you immediately, you know, like that feeling when you're running, you're in a hallway and it's dark, or in a room and it's dark, and you just feel this urge to like run or turn the light on or something. Like, you get this urge and you immediately open the door. You unlock the latch. There's 3 latches, and then there's like a keyhole thing that you unlatch, and you open the door, and you all hear this like as if like a compression has been released, and you feel this rush of air, and some of the leaves from the porch start kind of like fluttering away from the porch.
I'll pick up my squares.
You pick up your mirror squares.
Okay,
Ta-da.
I could do with that.
Easy enough. Come on in. It's disgusting in here, as you might expect.
I say it's rather beautiful in an odd way.
As you're standing there, can each of you describe what your witches look like? We'll start with that.
I look very similar to this, in fact. Kind of small, pale, gothic creature, white hair with kind of pink tips, and she wears far too much makeup that she clearly never takes off. She just puts more and more on. It runs in odd places from the angsty teenage tears. Yeah, and she holds an aesthetic somewhere near Wednesday Addams.
Nice. And Bub?
Man, it's just gonna be weird if I say black shirt, black pants. So let's be creative here. I suppose I'm probably dressed in a black top with a black pencil skirt and purple lipstick, dark eyeshadow, teal hair, small hat that's mostly ironic more than anything else. And I have pockets on my skirt, which allows me to keep my squares.
Pockets. Pockets.
Yes, pockets.
If a dress or skirt or anything has pockets that I can actually use, like now they have leggings that actually have pockets that are usable on the side, I'm like, thank you to people who actually realize women need pockets too. Okay, sorry.
And decent-sized ones.
Yeah.
Decent-sized pockets.
A pocket I can actually put something in versus like I can put a quarter in it.
A tiny butt pocket, yeah.
Yeah, like what the frack am I going to put in that thing?
Probably
Sorry.
wearing
a little
like
rant.
a boy's like light jacket, something almost similar to this.
Awesome. And Daniel, what do you look like?
He looks relatively mundane compared to the rest of them that have all gone very kind of into the witch style. He doesn't care. He's in just a red hoodie and jeans and just looks like normal. Good for blending in with non-witch society. And yeah, he's kind of tall and tough looking, and he carries himself very confidently when he walks. He strides straight into the house without hesitation when the doors open.
Perfect. And Phil, what you look like?
So Phil, she has kind of like a green top, but she's probably wearing like a brownish leather cloak on top of that because it is autumn and cold. But she has short brown, like pixie cut hair, and wears very big glasses, and also has a little necklace that it looks like there's probably like crushed herbs or flowers on the inside of the gems. So yeah, that's basically what she looks like.
Perfect. And the 4 of you go through the door, Daniel rushing in first. What do you do as you rush in, Daniel? No, you just put food in your mouth, but...
Takes a moment to eat a snack.
He pulls out a snack bar, starts munching on it.
Yeah, and just strides in like, this is gonna be a piece of cake. I much prefer this to eating catch it. That sounds terrible. Can't believe he actually went for it. So, like, we just gotta stay in a house. It's what we normally do.
The door behind you all slams shut, making a loud thump. And you slowly
look around to
hear
see who
the
slammed
sound
it.
of the locks latching.
Well, this is not ominous at all.
In terror,
great.
in terror, Calliope begins to recite poetry. This will be the last year you hear from me. There is only illusion, gone with the wind, forever meander. There is only illusion, dearly departed. And she starts to kind of freak out a little bit.
Calm down. It's just
I guess
hocus
none of you
pocus.
did that.
It's fine. It's fine. Just what is it? Just one night? Did we even bring sleeping bags for this?
You could have totally brought stuff if you wanted. You could have like got stuff
Oh,
before you came.
cute. It is a sleepover.
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Like a
I'll allow
backpack
it.
or something.
Yeah, you all have like a bag.
If
or a
we've
backpack.
had prep time.
Yeah, I would say that you can totally have like a bag or a backpack of things.
What was the name
Or-
of the kid that gave us this dare?
Alfred?
Alfred.
And
I'm
do
like,
we
oh,
know?
I bet it's Alfred messing about making.
And
locking
Alfred
us
is
in
also
so
a
we
witch.
can't leave.
So you all know Alfred from school.
Do we know anything about this house? Is there like rumors in the town that it's obviously probably that it's haunted, or but like is there any other like details that we know just from hearing around town?
Bill asking the real questions. Yeah, this house has had a lot of history, and because the four of you have lived here for quite some time, probably your whole entire life, other than when you're away at boarding school, you have heard a lot of rumors about the old Halifax building. There was a rumor that a family was murdered in it,
Oh, great.
and it was pretty gruesome. There's been rumor that every year on the odd year, when someone lives in the house, something terrible happens. People have said that they've seen lights turn on and off, even though no one's living in the house. The real estate agents who kind of like come in and try to like sell or clean it up never stay for long. In fact, some of them go disappearing. Never heard from again. That's kind of like the gist of it. It's very much weird stuff happens. People are afraid to go into the house. Now maybe you all are a little bit more brave because you have abilities, whereas other people don't, you know? Like, these are all usually mundane people dealing with these type of situations, right?
So you guys heard the stories of this house, right? About the family getting murdered. You guys all know about that?
I think we've all heard it though. If we've lived here for any length of time, then we've all heard it, but it's just stories, and we're witches. What do we have to worry about?
Yeah.
People die in their houses all the time. And then
All the
everyone
time.
gets all suspicious and they don't go in the house anymore, and then they start making up extra stories about it being spooky. It's just a house some people died in. Happened before?
Well, yeah. I like your guys' outlook. That's good. Well, you know, we just walked in and the door just closed on us. So, you know, we're off to a great start.
Oh, that's just Alfred messing with us, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make sure you don't come out of the house." He locked the door.
Yeah, sure.
If you really want to get out, I'll chuck something through a window.
See, we don't need to worry about anything. Daniel's here with us.
I got you covered. If there's anything going on in here, I bet all the stories are just other witches from the school coming in and chucking spells about.
Oh, I'm feeling a love poem coming on.
If all else fails, Wednesday Addams over here will definitely scare people away. We've got next to nothing to worry about.
Okay, well, if it's not so scary, then maybe we can look around. I don't want to just hang out in this foyer area. Let's check it out.
Yeah, let's explore.
All right. As you walk into the house, you look around and you can see around you is a living room. It's old and dusty, and the ground has like marks on it where, you know, maybe people have traversed. and it just looks like it has not been cleaned. There's a fireplace straight in front of you. It's large. It's one of those kind of old ones that have like a big like chimney thing that comes down. Above it is like a little mantelpiece that has some weird little trinkets. You can't really see unless you go up to it and look at what they are, and they're kind of up a little higher, so you'd have to kind of be tall enough to look. There's a statue of like Jesus that's kind of like on the left-hand side. He's wearing like a red kind of like robe type of thing, and it's very dusty, and you can't really like tell what's happening, like because it looks like it's been there for a really long time and kind of eroding. To the right of that is a small container that has maybe some stuff that you would use for a fireplace, and there's a rug in front of it that's really dusty and gross and dirty. To the right of that is a small circular rug and a table that has like 3 layers on it. The bottom one being smaller, and it continues to grow. And it kind of spins slowly, and it makes like this creaking noise that is kind of rather unnerving. There is a large couch that's in a corner, and in that corner is also a cupboard, a small cupboard that's to the left of it. And there's large windows behind it that have stained glass and little circles with looks like some kind of like depiction, and those are kind of like printed on each of the windows. There's like three large windows with 6 sections per each window, and the light and the moonlight kind of like lightly comes into the room. It's really dark actually, so it's hard to kind of see. And then to the right of that is a small like 1-person chair that has cushions and some pillows that look like they're not doing the greatest. They're old and gross. They look like real nasty.
Is it like super dark looking? Like,
yeah, what is the lighting situation?
It's dark. All you have is like this light moonlight that's coming through. That's why you can't see what's on like the mantelpiece or anything like that. And you can't really tell what the statue looks like exactly. You can only see the red because it's brighter than everything else, and the light's hitting it lightly. You can't tell what color like the rugs are or the furniture is. It just looks gross.
Hang on, I got something for this. I want to cast a spell.
Ooh, yeah. What spell are you gonna cast?
I want to cast Making Light of It. Illuminates
Nice.
an area around the witch for a short duration.
I love that.
Perfect. All right. If you want to post that in chat, so there's a little chat bubble, you can click that. There you go, so chat can see it. And then let's look at what you got.
I like showing off, so I feel like that will count for this.
I'll allow that. Yeah, I think that will help you. I think that's the only one that really helps you on your...
Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Cool.
All right, add a 1.
Ooh, you guys
16.
are on a roll today.
I got 2
So,
7s. We're starting very well with this.
16 is a success. The witch does the action and describes it. So go ahead and tell us what it looks like. Also, what your spell book looks like as you cast this spell.
It is shiny and red. It looks really fancy.
Yeah, so you pull out this like beautiful red book. What does it look like as you cast this spell?
Yeah, instead of like a kind of musty old tome kind of style, it's like a crisp, shiny new book, like newly printed kind of thing. Still got that new spellbook smell. And it's got all printed. I don't know. Do you write in your own spellbook, or is the stuff already written in there? How's that work?
It's up to you. You tell us. It's your character.
I guess you'd write in your own because you make up spells all the time. Yeah, it's like he opens it and then it's just like really bad scrawling because he's got bad handwriting.
Nice.
But it just about works. Yeah, so he goes through it and makes a couple of like hand gestures and things, and then a glow just kind of slowly builds up around him. Like it's not like he's a light now. It's that like just the area around him starts to be lighter.
For a short duration, I'll actually say for quite a little longer duration, this illumination is around Daniel, and as he moves, it will stay with him for a little bit, probably a few scenes, with the 16 success.
When he lights the space, Calliope walks over to this odd trinkets on the mantle to try to get a better look, since she likes to find beauty in odd places, and she kind of runs her hand down the mantle to try to pick out maybe a really interesting one.
Do you actually put your hand on the mantle? Or are you
Yeah,
just like
probably.
looking at it?
I mean, I'm not touching any of them. It's more of like, it's like somebody running their hand down a library shelf as they like
Okay,
look.
so you're not
through,
actually touching anything. You're just like
No.
looking. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
cool.
kind of looking
I
and
just was
trying
wondering
to
if you touched anything.
pick one because she is gonna cast a spell as well.
Okay. Yeah, you move forward and you look. Everyone's kind of watching as Callie. How do you say your name exactly?
Calliope?
Calliope. Okay, because your name's so very interesting. I like it. Calliope kind of like moves forward and looks at the trinkets on the mantelpiece. And Calliope, as you get close to the fireplace, there's this grumbling sound that you hear, and it sounds a little bit like this.
I look back at them. It's speaking to me.
And you feel this rush of like cool air come down the chimney and wash over you. And you know how you get little goosebumps and like that thing down your spine? That happens. And you kind of stop for a moment as you're looking at the top of the mantelpiece. And now that you're close and you can see the mantelpiece, and you can also see the statue, there's something a little weird about the statue. Like when you move, it's almost like the eyes of the statue kind of like are looking at you. At least that's how you feel when you're looking at it.
This is the statue of you said it was
Jesus.
like a Jesus right there on the mantle. Okay.
No, it's not on the mantle. It's on the left. It's like a giant statue on the left of the fireplace. It's like the size of the fireplace. On the mantle itself, you can see it looks like a picture got knocked over, so you can't see what's on the picture, but you can see the back of it. The frame itself is it looks like it was once maybe like this beautiful white, and it had kind of like decorations on it, but from what you can see, it looks like just like it's kind of covered with dust, and it's face down, so you'd have to pick it up to look at it. There are kind of like these little salt and pepper shaker almost looking things that kind of look like they're a matching set. It's a girl and a boy. It's really dusty and gross. They're kind of gross looking, but it looks like they were once probably really cute, like little knickknacks. And then on the left of that is like little nutcrackers, and there's probably like 5 lined up. And looks like one has like a broken handle, one has the jaw missing, and the other 3 are like they actually look like they're in decent shape, other than being really gross and dirty.
Okay.
Everything has like a thick film of dust on it.
Dust on it.
Yeah.
I turn to the Jesus statue. I think that's it's growling at me. So, and I'm gonna cast Scansion, which is here. I'll drop this. And she says, oh, I'm sorry, that was metaphor. Ignore that. I pressed the wrong one. There we go. Scansion is the process so she simply says, the curtain closes. There's only truth. There's only loss, but this is its truth. And I would like the truth of maybe what this object is, or learn more information about it.
Ooh, okay. Let's see you cast that spell. So let's look at your...
Let's see. I use poetry, dark poetry, which is a like.
Yeah, that definitely gives you +1. Finding beauty in odd places. That's what you're trying to. That was what.
Yeah, that's what I was trying
was.
to do. That's true. Okay, so 2 there.
Yeah.
Okay, I think those are the only ones probably. And so she pulls out. All of her spells are in this like little pocket-sized, like hand-bound leather notebook. The leather looks possibly hand-dyed, and it's got some odd inscriptions on the front. But everything on the inside is handwritten in short poems. All right, here we go. 12.
Ooh, a partial success. All right. When a witch does a partial success, the witch does the action, but the head witch gets to describe how it happens. So it does go through. Tell us what your spellbook looks like.
Oh, that's the little pocket, hand-bound pocket. And as I kind of creak it open, I pull out probably a feather, right, and like some kind of small black raven's feather, as I like scratch away the success of casting this spell, which is written in calligraphy and in a poem, a short poem.
Perfect. Yeah, as you're doing this, we can see kind of the words kind of flutter off of the paper and kind of float around the object that you're looking at. And this is the Jesus statue that you were looking at, right? Mm-hmm. And what are you wanting to learn about it?
it seems to have some kind of odd energy, considering when it's. Yeah, I would say it has some kind of odd energy. So I'm looking to find out: is it? It's more than meets the eye. So is it imbued with something? Is it magical? Is it simply some kind of magic object? Maybe just trying to identify more of what it is, because it's clearly not just a statue.
Okay. I think with this partial success, what happens is you're trying to identify, you're watching as this goes around, and it kind of like the words kind of seep into the outer edges of this statue, and the statue's eyes close. A little creepy. And all of a sudden, a rush of air comes out of the statue and tries to latch onto you.
Oosh. Well, it definitely is not what we think it is.
And you all see this. Basically, you see, from your perspectives, you just see you see what Calliope was doing, and then you see this rush of energy and little pieces of dust kind of fling off this statue and kind of like rush towards her. You guys can all like either cast a spell or do an action.
Oh man, I will cast a spell. Oh, maybe not working here. Can I cast Come to Me?
Ooh, yeah, totally.
Nice.
Teleports one willing ally to the witch from within line of sight.
Nice.
Nice. All right, let's see you cast the spell. Let's go look at Hendrix.
Let's see, abilities that might pertain to this.
Well, I mean, confident probably will work.
Yeah, I think I'll use confident. I'm not sure if the others would apply though.
I mean, the only thing would be like, do you have a crush on her? Then the love story thing might affect you, but I don't.
See, the thing is, like, I probably have a crush on everybody. She's very, like, naturally flirtatious, so she's trying to get close to everyone all the time.
Oh, this is great.
After
Three
all,
cheers for sleepover.
just in case nobody's caught on to it, she detests her dad, which happens to be Parker Liederbrand, a mage that was ran through a
If
game.
you've watched some of our other shows, you might know.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the daddy issues.
So yeah, you can get a +2 then.
Right on. I'll take it.
Roll that dice. Let's see how it goes. Dang, you all are
Nicely
Ooh.
done.
All right, 15. With a 15, that is a full success. The witch does the action and describes it. Go ahead and tell us how it looks as you do this.
It's sort of knee-jerk reaction, right? I basically push my hand outward and I turn it to kind of like grab, like you're grabbing a fruit from a tree, and I pull to me.
Yeah, you pull her to you, and the entity that kind of like was rushing towards her kind of stops in motion, and so all of you see kind of like this misty form standing in front of the fireplace. It looks like a young woman maybe, and she's kind of like crouched over, and she's wearing like probably 1920s clothing, it looks like maybe. And then she like looks up and you can see her face, and her eyes are just this like dark black, and she like runs towards you all, and for a moment you all kind of like, you know, brace yourselves, and you just hear this loud screaming, and all of a sudden it dissipates.
I like.
The hell was that about?
I sigh in Hendrix's arms.
Close call.
Your brown eyes, a soul through the everlife of my soul. My Hendrix.
You make my midsection warm. That was scary. She doesn't know how to respond to someone waxing poetic in front of her.
Are you all right? I look to Cal. Are you hurt?
I am only scarred on the inside.
I can't keep a straight face.
It's good. It's really good, that.
Yes.
She looks
beautiful.
right at you, deadpan.
Beautiful.
I think I might shuffle away slowly.
Hendrix has regrets.
Okay, so you're fine. Where did that come from?
The statue of the Lord and Savior.
I was wondering why there's a giant statue of Jesus in here that is a bit weird. Who's playing tricks? Is it Albert again?
Somebody's casting spells in here.
What if it is the head witch just testing us? Maybe is it Albert or Alfred?
Alfred.
Alfred. What if Alfred
Oh.
got caught and she's trying to play a trick on us? Because now she knows, and this is a lesson.
Alfred. Tricks.
Would the head witch do that? I feel like it'd just be Alfred. He'd just.
She's constantly looking for a reason to test us.
What kind of test would this be?
I don't know. But I kind of like lean over. Sorry, JC. We won't get that close again. We'll keep our distance.
I'm gonna regret this. Calliope has to know who's in the photo that's been turned face down.
Okay, Calliope, you're gonna walk back over to the mantelpiece.
Calliope,
yeah.
you're inviting a lot of danger into your life.
Do
Can we
you
just-
not want to
let's-
know who worships such a statue?
Blow it over. Nobody just.
Yes, I think perhaps we should keep exploring this room. Not the room where we're going to be staying in tonight.
Is there like is there a fire poker? Or wait a minute.
Yeah,
what is,
there is one
what is
in the little container that I mentioned.
does it have a cloth tether on the back so it's supposed to hang from the wall?
What?
You know the tether on the back of old paintings where you have to like hang the nail on it so it,
Oh, yeah.
it rests up.
Oh no, it has it's like one of the ones where it like actually sits on a mantelpiece.
Oh, it's like a
Mm,
footstand.
okay.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a footstand
it's
one.
just-
It's not like a hanging one.
Okay, then
But there is all the fireplace stuff is in the little container to the right of the fireplace.
true, but I'm also afraid to touch things now
Yeah.
just because.
don't
I think
blame
I'm
you.
gonna draw this this handkerchief that I have and see if I'm gonna will it. I'm gonna use my spell, hem and sew. Whoops. I'll call it over here. Hem and sew. Control over fabrics. This witch can separate, tear, or bind one fabric to another.
Ooh,
And-
okay.
Wow.
I'm going to try to basically control it to lift up, even if it's only briefly. So it's just like a pull.
Okay, so you're gonna try to like make it flop up and sit.
Flip up,
still.
yeah. Or even
Yeah.
if it flips away from the mantle. I just don't want to go back over there.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's
Let's see. Let's roll for it. Let's see what happens.
Oh no.
Okay. This is very movie night-esque, but I'm not feeling very confident right now. Just
No,
because
I don't
I'm
think you're
keeping
doing.
my
I think you're
distance.
actually gonna get a -1 to confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So
This is not going well for you.
no,
And
I don't.
Nothing else gives you a plus.
That's perfect. So -1. Submit. The failure.
Ooh,
Oh.
failure. On a failure, the witch does not do the action, and the head witch describes how it happens, or chooses a member of the coven to describe how it happens. And I'm actually gonna have Phil describe what happens here.
Before Phil describes that, with that last spell that I cast, you said that I can add a trait to someone, or is that only on a critical success?
It's only on a critical success.
So then with okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
and don't forget to mark your. I forgot to mention this too. Don't forget to mark your successes and failures. So every time you succeed at casting a spell, mark those little check boxes, and every time you fail, whenever you fill up one of those trackers, whether it's the failure or the successes, because you can learn either through practice makes perfect, or in failure we learn. You will level up a rank. So just let me know whenever you hit like it's all filled up, and we'll explain what happens after that.
Okay.
All right.
So just to be clear, you were essentially trying to use the fabric to push the frame up.
Yeah, he's trying to
Yeah.
like basically if he would have done like a critical success or even just a success on it, it would have just flipped up and sat up like a normal picture would, right?
So I would say rather than that happening, it kind of, the fabric just pushes the frame the wrong way on the mantle. And rather than it flipping up, it flips straight down onto the floor. And it does show face up, but now it is just on the floor, flips over, like crash right onto the floor.
I'll say that the glass shatters as well,
Oh,
and pieces
Damn
of
it.
the
Perfect.
picture are missing now.
Daniel, this is your fault. You could have been brave.
What did I do?
wait.
But no, you're making the girls do everything.
I would have just gone and picked it up, but you're like, oh, I want to do a spell. I said, all right, do a spell.
I didn't see you leaping in front of this one, tough guy.
All right, I walk up and I take out the actual paper part of the picture from the frame, shake the
Okay.
glass off it, and
So
hold it up.
you're gonna go over, take and grab the picture and shake the glass off of it. Yeah, as you lean in to like go towards the picture itself, the picture goes flinging towards you, and actually all the glass starts coming towards you, and it's gonna like hit your face.
Ah!
Oh, I want to cast something.
I'll let Phil cast something because Phil
Okay.
hasn't cast anything in a while.
Can I cast something?
Yeah, go for it.
Thankfully, Phil catches this very quickly before the glass starts flying at poor Daniel. So she's going to cast, let me pull it up really quick, Flutter, which
Ooh.
summons a cloud of small butterflies. It covers the line of sight. So
Sacrifice those butterflies, girl.
Those poor, they're gonna get murdered.
they are magical butterflies, thankfully.
Yeah.
So they will not be real. No real butterflies will be harmed. Unfortunately, the spell
No
does
butterflies were harmed in the making of this episode of Truth or Dare.
Well, the spell does require. She does open up her book, which is a like a leather bound. It looks a little dirty, kind of a. It's the spell book is leather and earthy, is what I describe it as. So one of the pages she opens up, and there is actually a wing of a butterfly, a monarch butterfly in there, and she uses that and says a few words and casts the spell, and it would create this magical butterflies to protect Daniel.
Ooh, okay. I think you're gonna get a lot of pluses for this. Studious for sure, brave. This is a new trait that you just got thanks to Bub.
Yeah.
I don't think that butterflies are animals, are they? They're like
Butterflies
They're
are
insects.
oh, that's right. They're
They're
insects.
insects.
they're insects. They're technically not
Oh,
animals. Exploring nature in the outdoors, so you get +3 for sure.
Nice.
Okay, let's do it.
It's still an animal, right? Just to
Wow.
Dang!
Critical
This is
success.
the most successful I've seen, like, a group of witches. That's
Do you know
What are
that,
we-
Maggie?
what are
I
these
played
guys
this game
doing?
so many times. I have never rolled a critical success. I've played this game how many times with you? Never.
Yeah,
Wow.
God has probably helped playtest this game so much, and
Never rolled a critical success. This
yeah,
is amazing.
like what is
And we
happening right
had-
now? I
we've
mean, it
had
can
to-
it's the probability of it that is there. It's just what the heck. So with a 19, an 18 is a critical success. So this is even above like the normal. The witch does the action exceedingly well and describes it. When it makes sense for the story, the witch may choose one of the coven and change one of the witch's characteristics or give them a new one. And I think Daniel might be the right person to give a
Yes.
trait to, because he's the one you're kind of like protecting with these butterflies. And then describe exactly what, like, tell us what thing you want to give him, and then also describe to us how this looks as you cast a spell.
So what does appear is this swarm of different type colors butterflies. So purples, orange. It's very pretty, actually. And you would think as these shards of glass come flying at Daniel, it just kind of blocks from it just like a few feet. It's not very, very long, a wall of butterflies that just kind of protects him. And it just hits it like a shield. And I would say, I would say from this, Daniel would get the trait, maybe, is this an adjective? Like resilient? I'm thinking something along those
Ooh,
lines.
I like
Resilient.
that. Resilient.
Okay, I like that.
There you go.
Since
Add
you've
that
been
as
protected.
It's true.
Nice.
You are also the one who picked it up.
Yeah,
Resilient.
it's true. Yeah, you see these butterflies come in and block all of these shards of glass that were coming for you. You would it would have messed up that beautiful face of yours.
I just kind of, I think I fall over backwards in response to glass flying at me.
Yeah, you fall down below you and you look up and you see that it's gone.
Oh, what was that?
Are you all right? We should be very careful in here. Things,
Yeah, I'm fine. You saved me. Thank you. That,
of course.
who would throw glass at someone? That's not a fun trick.
Somebody who did not want you to see the photo. Do you have it?
I stand up and brush this. Oh, did I actually take hold of the photo, or did I
With
lose
her 19 crit, I'm gonna say yes, you did.
Yeah, I'm like, I hold it up and
You
offer it.
Yeah, you're holding the picture. It looks like the picture is missing part of it. So what you see in this, now that you kind of like wipe it off, and there's like this, you have like this gross thing of like dust on your hand. It's pretty nasty. It's kind of like a little sticky too, so it's just gross. And you kind of shake the like bits of little glass that were on it that has kind of scratched part of the picture. This picture's black and white, and as you're looking at it, you see 3 children and a wife, and it looks like there's someone else. It's like kind of like that's the person who's been ripped, and it looks like this has been purposely ripped off.
I wonder if I
Someone
could.
in the family wasn't popular.
I wonder. Okay, can I make up a spell?
Yeah, you can make up a spell.
Okay.
The beauty of witches and spellcraft is that you can make up a new spell at any moment. But when you cast the spell upon the first time, it will not be level 1. It will be
Right.
0.
I think I need to patch it. I don't have a clever name for that. Oh, yes, I do. We're going to call this one Blank Verse. The goal is to take something that's blank or missing and reconstruct it.
Ooh, okay.
So this will be a level 0. So the idea would be maybe to like manifest the missing piece, even if just momentarily.
Ooh, okay, I like that. I like
All right,
for
so-
short duration. And depending
Yeah.
on how successful you are, it'll last longer.
Okay, I'll have to type this in. I walk over to the missing photo, feeling somewhat connected to the missing torn piece of this photo, deep in my dark soul. And I break out my spell book and I begin to scribble in a that parchment sound of quill on parchment, a new, I guess, spell called a Blank Verse. And I don't know. She says, what does she say? She says, heart, a child, forever gone. I beg you to return. Let the shadow not fade. And she casts Blank Verse. So dark poetry, always and forever.
Yeah. I feel like melancholic is almost. I feel like that was very melancholic. I'll give you a +1 for that.
Okay, cool. Okay, here we go, gang.
She doesn't have it written yet, so she won't put the description in there.
Yeah, I won't
whenever
put the
she
description.
finishes it, yeah.
I'll finish typing it up here in just a second. All right. Oh, failure.
Oh no.
Right, and a failure, I get to choose.
Always.
It's not a critical failure, so no one gets a negative trait of some sort. Yeah, you try to make this picture come together and add that little last piece to it. But as you cast the spell and the words kind of ink to paper and the magic looks, or it kind of like trickles onto the paper, you see your words disappear backwards. And the words flip around.
Nice.
And now it reads something else. And it says, child lost, taken from me forever. And you actually see all 3 of the children disappear in the image. And it's just the woman.
I look to all of them with big, bulging eyes. Lost. The children. And her heart. And I point to the woman only left on the page.
I see. So she lost her child. Or multiple.
I rub on the photo to see if I can like make the kids appreciate.
You rub on the
I try
photo.
and wipe the bit where the kids were. I'm like, what is this about?
Yeah, they're just gone. It looks like the image Now when you're looking at it, Daniel, it looks like the image was always like this. Like the woman was just the only one in this image. That's what it looks like now. All of you hear a loud thump above you. Sounds like footsteps.
I was mid sentence, like, oh, clearly there's some kids just like practicing loads of random spells on this, like throwing glass and making things dis. The hell was that?
It seems like somebody is home.
Maybe it's the person casting all of these spells.
It's probably Alfred. He's come to check we're here and mess with us, to try and scare us and make us leave so he wins the dare.
Yeah. Should we go check?
You hear a door slam upstairs.
Oh, there's definitely somebody here.
Maybe we can sneak up on him, surprise him.
You
cannot
footsteps.
sneak up on a ghost.
The sound of children's
It's
small
not a
feet.
ghost.
You hear the sound of children's small feet scampering down the hallway upstairs.
Well, I ain't afraid of kids. Come on, let's go. Let's go together. Let's all of us in the same area.
I put my hand in
we
yours.
got this.
You don't want to split up? What?
yeah. Let us go together. Calliope,
What do we-
puts her
what-
hand in yours.
What do we know? What is the common tale, the history of this place?
So I kind of gave a description of that earlier when Phil asked. But yeah, so kind of the rumors that you've heard about this place are that a family was perhaps murdered here. You've heard about people going missing, like real estate agents who have come to the house to try to like resell it, going missing. You've heard rumors that like there's lights that turn on and off even though no one's there. People have made up stuff, right? Like there's lots of made up stuff, and then there's lots of like perhaps true things. And then, you know, there's been lots of cases of people saying that like whenever someone lived here on the odd year, there was like weird stuff that would happen, or people would go missing or be murdered or so on.
What would you say, like, I mean, we're part of like a witch's world, so superstition and these kind of things are not unheard of and usually pretty believed in. So what would we know about ghosts? Just like textbook, what school teaches us about ghosts?
I think in this world, what you would know about ghosts is that they can take many forms, right? They can come as apparitions that are like translucent. They can come as like full embodiments of a person. They can hurt you, or in some cases they can be harmless. They also can possess people and control them if they were to like attach to them. It's not a fun process if that does happen, and taking them out of a person is not a fun process either. Let's see, what else would you know? Ghosts
Can they be
kind
summoned?
of go through objects. You would know that for sure. Or they can live in an object. Yeah. What was your question?
Can they be summoned?
Yeah, I think you could probably summon one for sure. I think as a witch, definitely. It's kind of dark magic to do that. Usually,
Right.
to summon a ghost. It's not something that you wouldn't want to bring a ghost to.
Okay,
You know,
that was my
living
question.
ones.
Like, because sometimes with summoning, when you summon it, you maintain control of it if you can make the summoning happen. So, like, I wasn't really sure what the mechanics of a summoning
I think
spell
that
would be.
if your summon was strong enough, perhaps maybe you could, but I think like that would be an additional spell. So summoning it would be a first spell, and then like taking control of a ghost or like commanding a ghost would be like another spell, right? Like that's how I would rule it.
Okay.
All good questions.
All right. Well, they are just children. We could go play.
I love Magic Chick's face.
Do they want to play with us? I don't know.
All children want to play. Maybe if we're kind.
You could just ask too.
Oh, Hendrix, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Hey,
Like
creepy
that, my eyes
kids!
like.
Knock 3 times if you want to play.
You actually hear.
That was
Above
4.
you.
Okay, we're fucking leaving.
You hear the floorboards. It sounds like someone knocking on the floorboards above you. 4 times
And did-
instead of 3.
4.
That means they don't want to play. That's maybe we should just leave them.
You didn't specify a no, so I guess they made up their own.
Maybe they can't count. Who knows how old they are? That's fine.
Maybe they need help.
Maybe. Means we have to do things for them.
Well, what would you propose we do instead?
Well, let's say, for instance, if this place is actually haunted, this could be a good learning experience. I think we might, be able to get the head witch, and she could help us with this. She's the head witch, after all.
Well, we could make a learning experience out of this, yes.
Must we get the head witch?
I just don't know if we're cut out for the mystery machine and crew right now. And if we are, I'm definitely not Shaq or Scoob.
I don't understand this reference. You should probably watch the Addams Family instead of Scooby-Doo. I wonder, most ghosts remain because they are caught, trapped.
All right, well, I guess what are we waiting on? We should figure something out. Daniel,
We can't
lead
get
the
the
way.
head witch. All right, I mean, we can't get the head witch right now. It's the middle of the night. We gotta
Well-
stay the night for the dare. Might as well go check it out ourselves. And if it is a ghost, then I don't know. They probably don't care. What do ghosts do?
I
Right.
mean, people have gone missing in this house in the past.
why we
Well,
stay
that's
close?
just the stories. People like. I mean, it's
I
a
be-
spooky house.
I
I
believe
imagine
them.
every other witch in the school has already been in here and messed with everything and put random spells on stuff. And if there's a ghost, they've had a lovely chat and a cup of tea. And
Should we have a buddy system?
Yes, I think so.
I pick Hendrix.
I think I pick everyone. Really, I've seen enough scary movies. I know how this goes. Okay, you believe in ghosts? I believe in Daniel's strong shoulders.
I look at you like I do not understand this metaphor.
His shoulder. He plays baseball, and
And you believe in them.
I have to. I'm weak. This is why I walk through glass.
Me too.
And-
I'm weak also.
we'll be fine. If it's a ghost, it can't even touch us anyway. It'll
Yes,
just
it
fly to
can.
us.
We can.
Oh, maybe it's a poltergeist and it can throw things. I'll throw things back. Whatever.
Okay, well, while you're playing catch, I guess I'll leash up with Calliope, and we'll
Ooh,
be pretty
leashes.
dead girls together. Not like
Oh,
maybe a little later, but like let's get it past the introduction phase first. And I'm too scared. A little. I'm not scared. Let's go. All right, Calliope, you and me.
oh.
So who is
Wait,
going
are we doing
upstairs?
pairs?
I start walking to
I
the
think
step.
we all go together, but the
Yes.
idea is that we have pairs. Just stick with your buddy.
So the 2 people are gonna go to get like yours are gonna be like 2 by 2 going up the stairs. Okay.
Yes, I think
As
that's
you're-
best.
As you're walking past the living room, you can see into a hallway, and in that hallway you can see a door that 2 doors. It looks like you don't really know where they take you, and then you can see an archway that's open. In that archway you can see kind of like it looks like a large dining room table, but you can only see like the table a little bit, and only because Daniel's lit up right now, and you guys are gonna go up the stairs. Now the stairway kind of goes up and then has a landing and then goes up again. So as you guys are going up, you can hear like the floorboards underneath creaking. And even if you try to be quiet, it's not very quiet.
It's normal.
Um,
It's an old house. It's gonna creak when we step.
I'd like to cast a spell, I think.
Please.
As we're making a lot of noise. And actually, I have a question for
Mhm.
you, Head Witch. So could we possibly do a group spell with this one?
You can.
Okay, I think you might know what I want to cast here. So I want to do quiet as a mouse.
Everyone will
What?
add this spell to their spell book. So add this spell to your spell book. You can copy and
Yes.
paste it.
Oh.
It will be a level 0 for all of you except for Phil. And how a circle works is that one witch must be like the main spellcaster, and obviously that's going to be Phil. But each of you is also going to cast this spell. First, you all will cast it. We'll see how successful you are. If you are successful, you give her an extra +1. If you are not successful, you will give her a -1. If you are partially successful, you don't give her any benefit. So we'll see how
Got
this
it.
goes.
Yeah.
So
nothing
each of
to
you
do
add
with
that to your
With
sheet.
any potential modifiers we might have.
Yeah, you could add your potential modifiers. That's how all spells work. So Daniel, you're gonna cast it first. And normally, like you'd make a big show of it, right? Like you'd all get in a circle and you'd do something.
Right.
Um,
Except we're already holding hands.
you
As we,
oddly all
creep
look
up the
around. You're like, wait,
stairs.
we're all holding hands.
Oh, yeah.
You're scared. You didn't even know. So Daniel, let's see. Secretly insecure, actually, I think is gonna help you here because you want to be quiet. And I
Yeah.
think that showing off that
On,
you can
on the
cast.
quiet, I really don't want to get caught by evil ghosts.
I think maybe showing off that you can cast this spell for, you know, one of the cute schoolgirls that are with you. I don't know if you swing that way, might be beneficial.
I think that one counts.
Okay, cool.
Would you
Rude.
are we casting this on ourselves or on something? For my clarification.
That would be Phil. I don't know what were your intentions, Phil.
We would be casting it. We would be casting it on ourselves, actually.
So that we are quiet.
Yes.
So it would be devious. So I could sneak without being seen.
I think devious
think
for
that
sure
applies.
is probably
Yeah.
the only thing on
Only
your thing
one.
that helps you.
Okay.
And
Alright,
then
I'll roll mine with a
Bub,
+2.
let's look at yours. I think
Is it just personality or is it likes as well?
It's likes and hates.
Everything.
Everything.
All right, then I'm
Even
gonna
your
go with the
physical
only
traits
bonus.
even your physical traits will help.
Ooh.
I think frail and thin probably help you because you can be kind of like quiet or 'cause you're
Okay.
lighter, right?
Then can I use movie nights because that's the quiet time?
Yeah, sure. I'll allow that. And also because you've watched a lot of movies, right? So
Mhm.
you know that like it's kind of
It's intense.
not
You
good.
gotta be quiet.
First of all, not good to split up. Second of all,
Mhm.
probably the worst idea to go upstairs. Every horror film
Mhm.
has people running upstairs. Why would you run upstairs to get away from the bad guy? I don't know.
We're gonna help them.
We're gonna go.
17.
We're visiting the bad guy. Like, hey, he wants to make
This
friends.
is a sleepover, damn it! Alright.
All
I
right.
want a ghostly pillow fight.
You guys cast and let us know, and
Okay.
We
Phil
go.
will wait. patiently. Our
Oh,
Phil
partial
is
success.
minus one,
Oh.
17.
and then
Yep.
we're waiting for Bubs. Hendrix.
Did-
Yeah.
I did roll that. And I got a 17.
It hasn't appeared
I
for
haven't.
us.
We haven't
Weird.
seen it.
That's strange.
I'm gonna refresh. Maybe there's just a delay.
Roll 20. What are you doing? Why are you like this?
I mean, I could roll again, I suppose.
That's weird. Why did you do that?
Yeah, none of us see that.
Yeah.
We can probably take your word for it. It's just weird it's not appeared.
Screenshot it for
Has
us.
it appeared on your chat?
Yeah, I got it. I'm screenshotting it for you
That's
right
so
now.
weird.
Jeez.
Yeah, paste it in the chat. I'm just curious. Like, that's so strange.
Yeah, I'm posting it in shadow chat right now.
Chat.
That's so
there's been
weird.
delayed
Yeah,
we
rolls
don't
before,
see
but they always
that.
make it. Oh, what? You rolled first, and it's still.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's so
Roll
weird.
20.
Well, let's like in the future when we do group stuff, have one person at a time do it. So we
Yeah.
don't- I think that's probably what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah,
We'll turn it
yeah.
like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Bub did it. So we've got a +1, a -1, and a nothing. So you get no additional.
Cancels
Nailed
out.
But we'll describe what it looks like when they do stuff after you cast your spell. So you're gonna cast first, and then we'll describe what each of them does to help you, or
Okay.
not help you.
Okay, so for mine, I would get some bonuses.
Yes.
I could probably get a lot here. Meek, definitely.
Yes. Slender, petite. are the
Slender,
three.
petite. I like animals. So,
What is the animals part?
or like, cause, well, I was thinking quiet as a mouse because that's the spell that I'm channeling my my
Okay,
inner.
I'll allow it. That was a little bit of a
that's a stretch.
but I think it's because you are imitating a creature, and I think like that
Yes.
is what I'm gonna give you. So that will give you 4.
Okay. All right.
See, this is the whole point of it, is to, and
Kind
and
of
your other
push
witches
your-
can also like try to help you with that. So
Okay, so I'm gonna roll with the +4. And we get a 10. Partial
Okay.
success.
which means I get to describe it. But you are successful. So yeah, you try to make everyone really quiet. The group of you holding hands, you didn't realize that you were all holding hands, but after a moment, you're like, well, we are. And Phil kind of is like, we should cast a spell together to make ourselves quiet, right? So, I mean, you all agree. So you start chanting the spell. You're holding hands, and you start whispering and chanting, and things slowly start getting quieter to the point where you can't hear your own whispers. I think Calliope probably thinks the writing of this poem is not very good, and is having a hard time
It
with
lacks
it.
structure.
It lacks structure, yeah, and just it is not going. She like can't get past it. Like there's some grammatical issue with how this is being said, and she just cannot get past it to the point where she stops chanting. Daniel oddly is pretty good at this, and Phil, you kind of respect that. And oh my gosh, Hendrix nailing it. Like Hendrix wants to be quiet, eagerly is really wanting to be quiet. And you start walking up the staircase.
Please
You
silence
don't
your
hear-
cell phones. Channeling my
Don't-
inner theater.
Yeah, you don't hear any sounds as you walk up the stairs, but because it's a partial success,
Yeah, what I wouldn't give for a good quatrain.
you can still hear when you guys talk or when you breathe, and all of you can kind of hear the heavy breathing as you're walking up the stairs. Maybe some of you hold your breath a little bit, and then when you let a release out, you see like this puff of cold air kind of come out of your mouth because it's very cold. When you get to the landing, there's this large painting that is in the landing. It looks like it's of a young woman in a wedding gown. She's standing there. She looks really beautiful. The painting itself looks like maybe it's been there for a while. There's a lot of dust on it. There's a spider web that's kind of like all across it, and you can kind of see the little spider running down it, grabbing something. Not sure what it is, probably some kind of weird bug. And a clock. The clock is struck on 3 o'clock, and the little hand is not moving. None of them are moving actually, so you don't hear anything. And there's a large, it's basically like a grandfather clock, so you can see inside of it too. The glass itself is like really kind of murky, and the wood looks like it's been scratched. And you can see down on one side, looks like someone's hand was scratching at it. And if you look closer, I can give you more details, but that's kind of what you see at first. And then you see the next staircase that you can go up to. And you can see a little bit of the hallway because Daniel is lit up.
Okay.
Well,
We have arrived.
We just climbed some stairs. We've been here.
Where did the sound come from?
I point opposite us.
You hear knocking. It sounds like on a door down the hallway.
Okay, I don't think the spell worked because they definitely did that because we're up on the landing now.
Should we keep going to them, or should we wait for them to come out?
Oh, no. We're already in their house. If they
I
want
say
to play,
we-
let's play. We're good.
As your guest, we would like to see your face. Your beautiful, ghostly facade.
What if it's when they died? No, this is a Carpenter film waiting to happen.
Well, so much for being quiet.
I'll take a few steps, pulling them behind me.
Take a few steps. You don't hear them. The floorboard doesn't creak. You step up the last flight of stairs, and you get to the top. Now that you're in the hallway, you can kind of like look around. It looks like a long hallway. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors, and the sound of the knocking sounded like it came from the right-hand side and then to the left.
So both
Turn.
directions or just the right? Sorry.
So if you go right and then like the door on the left.
The door on the left.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cast on the door metaphor, which allows me to make a comparison of two unlike things to change one of them into the comparison. Which I will drop bloop here. So I say, you once promised me for eternity, but say goodbye, for this door is like a pane of glass. And I'm gonna try to see if we can see what's on the other side without having to touch it.
Okay. So you're all gonna go kind of like over to the door, but not go into the doorway.
Yeah, I like tiptoe over. I don't touch it. I just like get near enough to it to be able to be in range to cast the spell on it.
Yeah, and down that hallway, as you get closer towards it, there's a window at the end of the hallway. It's a large window, and it's actually like cracked open a little, and the curtains that are in front of the window are slightly moving a little bit as the wind is kind of brushing through. Maybe now you're like, oh, this is maybe where the cold air is coming through.
Oh,
And
that's like, okay.
There's a little table at the end that's in front of this, and there is a flower pot, like a vase, a vase that is like this light blue color with like a little trim, and it has wilted flowers that are like definitely dead, and some of the petals are like dried and strewn about. It's quite actually beautiful. I think Calliope would see that as like, this is like a picture, like one of those like beautiful kind of creepy picture moments. Yeah.
Before I turn this door to glass for the attempt, I let out a little sigh. I squeeze Hendrix's arm in a hopeless romantic kind of way.
If Alfred appears, just jump him.
All right, so this door where we're hearing the knocking from behind, right? I want to see what's behind it. Like, are these bedrooms? Is it a kid's bedroom?
Yeah.
Is it something else? So, okay. I did use dark poetry.
Yep.
And I think that's the only one.
I think that's the only one that makes sense here.
That makes sense. Here we go. Fail.
Ooh, yeah, fail.
I have not succeeded but once today. I'm so taken aback by the aesthetic of this home.
Yeah, you try to cast this spell, but you are a little distracted, and now that you're holding Hendrix's arm, kind of like you have a moment where you realize like you actually maybe like Hendrix more than you thought you did, and like you're thinking about Hendrix and how brave they're being actually, which is not what you thought Hendrix
and
was.
About that purple fuzzy book in your back pocket.
Yeah. You can see it peeking out of the back pocket. And now you're checking out Hendrix's butt. It's fine. The words don't come out quite as right, and actually what happens is you hear the door latch close, and you hear it's knocking 4 times, and it keeps going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until it's just, and then you hear just stop. Everything stops. I had to do the bub butt. Yeah, we needed it in chat, so.
We did.
For those of you watching on YouTube, you don't know, but Bub has like a butt emote, and I felt like it made the perfect sense.
It's prime time. It's prime time. We've been missing, there's been no butt action this season until now. Spoopy butt.
So that's what's happening in front of you.
That was
Just
weird.
hearing this knocking repetitively happening, and then it stops.
Do they want us to come in and knock? They knock and then they latch it and then they knock a bunch more. What is this?
But they knock in a quatrain.
Can I see that the couch and things below?
No. You're in a
Do you see
hallway.
anything below?
You're in a hallway upstairs.
So it doesn't like overlook a
No,
lower...
there's a door in front of you, and
All right.
on the other side of the hallway, or In the hallway that you're in, so basically you went in the middle of a landing, right? And like there's a hallway, and you can go right or left, all of which are walls. So it's like a hallway. On the side that you went, there's like a little, table with a flower pot and this one door. On the other side is where the other doors are.
Okay.
And there's a door across from you as well, like behind you all, that is different, but it's not the one that's being knocked on.
I'm gonna, before we descend further into the depths of this hellscape, I want to take one of the squares of mirror and kind of slide it down to the end of the hallway at the foot of the stairs.
Okay. At the stairs?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you go ahead and you slide him. You and Calliope kind of like walk down towards the stairs. You leave it over there and you come back. Daniel and Phil, what do you do as they're putting the glass down on the landing?
Should I just try and kick it open? Do we want to get in there? I guess we want to get in there.
I suppose we could. The knocking seemed more angry, so I don't know if we're upsetting them or if we should just leave them be. I don't know.
If it's Alfred messing with us, I want to get in there so I can.
I'm glad you still think that this is Alfred.
If it's a ghost, why would they knock if they didn't want us to show up?
I guess, I don't know. It just seemed like very angry knocking, so I just don't want to upset them. If you want to go in, I'll go with you. I'll lend my bravery.
All right, good. Because if something gets thrown at me, I might need a bunch of butterflies again.
Yes.
All right, let's try this.
We'll buddy system
I just go up to the door. Go up to the door, and first of all, I just try and open it with the handle.
Well, you heard it lock, so you're gonna have to give it a good budge, or use something like cast something to unlock it, or use something to like slide in the door to unlock it. But
I try the handle, and when nothing happens, I'm like, open the lock, or I'm gonna break it.
Ooh, nice. You know what? Roll me. This is like a significant roll that I feel like it could potentially. It doesn't require any casting of spells, but it is going to be a regular roll. So Daniel, on your sheet at the top, it says roll 2d8. You're going to hit that button, and then you're also going to add your attributes that would be beneficial for you. I think tough, for sure. Resilient.
Okay.
Probably, and maybe a little bit of showing off.
Yeah.
And you hate being tricked, right?
Yeah.
So 4, I think. You get a +4.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. Partial success.
I scraped a partial success, so I needed all those bonuses.
You hear
Nice.
on the other side of the door. I don't want it. Go away. No.
That doesn't sound like Alfred.
Sounds like the children.
Sounds like we're leaving.
No.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. They don't want us to visit. Let's go.
The door
Wait,
unlocks.
they
You hear
said
the
they
door
don't.
unlock.
They don't want to leave.
Wait, do they want us to go in or not?
The door
Why would you think that?
The door opens and it creaks. It's like... And Daniel and Phil can see as Calliope and Hendrix are walking back towards them from down the hallway from putting the mirror down. You can see inside the room a little bit. You can see a bed, a corner of a bed it looks like. That's kind of all you can see. Looks like a small bed.
I just kind of pause for a moment.
Should we push? I'm just going to kind of very, very lightly push it open a little bit more.
Yeah, you push the door open a little bit more and it...
I'm gonna slowly creep forward and just stick my head to the doorway.
You can see a little bit more of... Phil can just see a little bit more of the bed. It looks like a small child's bed. The sheets look really dusty and dirty. And Daniel, when you look in and you peek in, you can see that there's 3 beds in this room. each the same size. They're these small children's beds. You can see like this large bay window that's behind the beds, and I guess I got a picture to help me describe this.
Oh, nice.
A lamp in between the three beds. So there's two little side tables with little lamps that match. On the far right hand side, there's like a bookshelf, and it has some like looks like kids books. It's like a kids kind of shelf thing, and then like there's a little container at the bottom that looks like maybe it had kids toys in it, or it might still. There is a wagon that has a little ball in it, and on the wall there's like a picture of something. You can't really tell what it is. And then above the three bay window, there's also some pictures up there. You can't really tell what they are of. There's a kind of a chandelier that's coming down in the middle of the room, but it's not lit. It looks like maybe there's like candles that you could light up there. And there's a little rocking chair in the other corner. And a door that looks like it's to a closet, perhaps.
Hello? Children? Well, we're just here to play.
And then any ghosty kids in here?
You hear the sound of crying again. It sounds like it's in the closet.
He's coming. You should hide. He's coming.
Oh dear.
Hey, hold on. Who, what, where, how, when?
Who's coming?
You should hide. Get in the closet. Go. He's coming.
Guys, the children say we should hide.
I go under a bed.
Yeah.
You can hear down the hallway.
Hide.
You can hear down the hallway large thumping sounds like someone's coming down the hallway.
Okay, don't need to tell me 3 times. Let's go.
Yeah,
I slide under a bed.
So Calliope is gonna hide underneath the bed. What are the other 3 of you guys are doing?
Is
Does
she
Daniel?
still holding onto my arm?
Okay, Hendrix, are you?
Yeah.
Under bed high times.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's buddy
so-
system this again. I'm grabbing Daniel and going under another bed.
Okay, so Hendrix and Calliope go under one bed. Daniel and Phil go under another bed, and you're all just trying to hide under the bed and be quiet, right?
Yes.
I think this is a moment where you all need to roll how quiet you're being. And Phil's spell has worn off.
Okay.
And this is going to be a mundane rolling. So
Just a flat roll.
Just because it's I feel like this is an important roll. So at the top of your sheet on the About Me section, above the About Me section, there's a little roll 2d8. You're going to click that plus any attributes that you think are going to benefit you in being quiet. I would say, or hiding. So, anything that's like generally that you would be quiet, or if you're small. If you are tall or big in any way, I would say that's actually going to give you a minus in this case.
I don't have any of those.
I'm gonna counter my tall with my movie nights again.
Yeah, I would say that works for you, Hendrix.
I just my secretly.
Let's do one at a
insecure
time.
turn to
So
my-
let's first do Hendrix, since we were talking about you. Let's look at your sheet. Yeah, tall is going to be -1, but I think thin would help you, so that kind of negates each other. And then I would say movie nights will give you a +1.
Would I feel like in this moment, because I'm confident and I'm bold and I'm also like getting a little flirty and close with Calliope here, would there be any bonuses specifically for this?
I mean, I'm a hopeless
I
romantic.
will give you bold and confident. I'll give you the 3. I'll give you 3.
Okay. All right. So then I rolled. I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
No.
Not.
I think you need to log
That's-
out and log back in. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
you might
the
want
only
to
one that we
refresh.
can't see.
Let me log out and log back in. I'm not sure why that's doing that.
That's so weird, dude.
Okay, so I am devious. This may not be the first time I've hid under a bed to witness something, was a thought that I had. But I'm also a hopeless romantic, and I'm currently spooping it up under this bed.
I don't know if hopeless romantics helps you hiding.
It's true. But would devious?
Devious would for sure, I think.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the only benefit you get. Ooh.
I'll roll my next, then after you get yours out.
Nope.
Ooh, okay, we got a failure.
Hi! I'm failing so hard today. So hard.
Sorry, Don. Hendrix, you want to try to roll again?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. We got your roll. Partial. Okay, cool.
Hey, there we go.
Daniel, let's do yours next. And you are tall, which is going to give you a -1.
Yep.
You're secretly insecure. That's going to give you a minus. No, insecure. This is not insecure. Resilient. I'll give you a +1, so that negates it. I don't think any of the other things help you.
Yeah, I have nothing.
I think that's it. That's all you got.
Flat roll. Here we go. That's a fail.
Bill, you're the last one.
I'm gonna say
slender, petite. That's gonna give you 2. Shy.
So we've had a
meek,
fail for each pair now.
Brave. I'll give you 5.
Oof.
Wow.
I'm
Okay.
an expert at hiding under beds.
Actually, you also hate extremely loud noises, right?
I do, yeah.
This isn't really extremely loud noises.
Yeah, I would like bangs or things like that. So 5. So I just add the 5 to this modifier. Okay. Success. 15.
Do I notice that Calliope is not? She's not being very quiet.
Yeah.
What is Calliope? What are you doing?
I think she's shaking, maybe. Maybe you're more scared than you realize. You know, like when you have like a nervous fidget and you don't realize that you have a nervous fidget and like...
Yeah. My very, very tall black platform boots are like tapping on the floor as I like my leg is like, doing that nervous twitch probably. Or maybe the buckle, because there's a buckle on it.
Oh, the buckle. The buckle is hitting the flap of your boot. I like that.
Yeah.
Can I throw my leg over hers?
Yeah, you can. For sure.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Phil, you realize that Daniel is making a lot of noise. Mostly because... you realize that Daniel's part of his body is not fully underneath the bed because you both went under the same bed and it's like a child-sized bed, right? And he's like,
it's like
big.
I just like gently tap him on the shoulder and kind of point. I don't say anything. I'm just like trying to get his attention that he needs to.
like oh no, and like just try and squeeze. Like think small.
And what happens is you hear these footsteps, thunk, 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 down the hallway, and you hear the little kid crying.
No. No.
And you hear the door creak open a little bit louder.
Oh, forgiveness, a child. Frodo, yet we set a stone at the table of silver soul.
You can hear
I
the
immediately
rocking
kiss her.
chair.
If she keeps talking and pantering or anything, I'm gonna put my lips on hers just to like stop her.
Under the bed, spoopy kisses!
Yeah, that's how
Our
that works.
first spoopy kisses. Yeah, they start making out. Great. The rocking chair in the corner starts moving, and you just hear this, and you can see it moving. And Daniel and Phil are the closest to the rocking chair. There's no one in the rocking chair. But the rocking chair is moving. The windows open up. All of the curtains go flying forward. And you hear this whoosh of cold air, and all of you feel this coldness upon you. The footsteps stop. The footsteps start walking. They're starting to go towards where the crying is, towards the far end of the room where the door is, but they stop. I think Hendrik saves you, Calliope.
Yeah,
As Daniel, you feel something grab your leg and pull you out from under the bed.
No!
Oh no!
As I see he's having no! And I like grab him and try to like pull back.
And suddenly like, what is it? Get it off me! I'm like trying to flail my legs around to like, I look behind me, can I see anything holding me?
No.
Oh,
You feel
get it off!
something like large hands grabbing your leg and pulling you out from under the bed. And no matter what, Phil tries to like grab you, but she can't, and she's holding your hand, and all you can see is her hand holding yours, like both of her hands holding your one hand, and you're getting pulled out, and you're fully out from under the bed now.
Can I cast a spell at what's holding me?
Yeah, we can do that in a moment. Calliope and Hendrix, you're in the middle of kissing all of a sudden. I'll let you resolve that because that's a big moment.
Okay. How do you resolve that when your allies are screaming 5 feet away?
Well, you start the kissing first, and then you hear Daniels and Phil start screaming.
Calliope, I I would think Calliope continues to probably like kiss the air as I'm sure like our attention's like drawn.
Okay. And then we're gonna pan. Unless you guys want to say something, then we're gonna pan back over to so they can react to what just happened to them. But I just wanted to give you a moment if you had something you wanted to do.
I feel like that was the moment.
Yeah,
the moment was Calliope is continuing to kiss. Hendrix is completely distracted now and is looking at what's happening to Daniel. He can see Daniel being pulled, or she can see Daniel being pulled out from underneath the bed. Phil grasping on to Daniel's hand, and Daniel, I'll let you react first because this is happening to you.
Okay, I want to try and cast Expel Arms at the thing I can't
Nice.
see.
That's handy. See what I said there? All right.
Okay, what can I use? So yeah, it's
So
it's to make what they're carrying fly out of their hands. In this case, it's me.
I thought that was a cheeky way of alternately saying throw hands.
No, it's supposed to be. It's literally Expelliarmus. It was just
Oh, okay.
There we go. Great.
Yeah. Butterfingers.
Just on-
I
on
like
self.
that.
It's funny.
Oh, someone's like, I wish to yeet myself, DM. Oh, God.
It's my. I've got another spell that's basically yeet the spell. But yeah,
I think
Nice.
tough probably works for you here. Resilient. Maybe sports because you're getting like grappled. I would say those are the three things that make the most sense to me, unless you have
yeah, right.
want to argue otherwise, like Phil did. Oof, that was a good
No,
argument.
That sounds
Phil.
good to me. I'll take a +3. +3 is good.
Okay.
All right. Critical
Woo!
success!
Oh my God! What is this? I've never seen so many successes in one game before.
Me neither. And I've rolled a partial success today. That is the only thing I've succeeded at. Bentham has all the luck.
A 19
Nailed
is
it.
above the threshold. Normally it's an 18. That means, Daniel, I think actually so here, normally with, for those of you who maybe were just tuning in, an 18 is a critical success. On a critical success, the witch does the action exceedingly well and describes it themselves. And then when it also makes sense, the witch may choose another coven member to give them a characteristic. Or change one of their characteristics. So you can actually change something or give them a new one. I think Philippa is probably the one who you're going to be giving this to because she's the one who engaged with you in this situation. Phil just getting all the
I know.
characteristics.
Lots of new characteristics.
Yeah, I don't know. It's,
Or changing. You could change one. So you can look at her sheet and decide what you want to do and then explain to us what it looks like as you cast this spell and what happens. And while he's thinking about that, the system that we're using is called Witches and Spellcraft, and really it's about, creating a story together. So it's about us working together, not just the GM only telling the story. That's why it's kind of fun.
So I already.
Yeah, I think I've got it. Okay, so yeah, we're still holding on to each other as I'm being pulled out from under the bed, and then I let go with one hand and grab the spell book and just kind of throw it on the floor, open on a page, and just start hitting the book. I don't know.
What a badass! I like that.
Spell, cast the spell. And then yeah, what I managed to get the right hand motions and arcane stuff done. And then I just kind of throw up my hand, pointing at in the direction of my foot, because I'm I guess I'll hit it if it's a person-sized thing, and it's in that vague area. I just kind of chuck out a blast, and there's kind of a flash, and my leg is let go, and I kind of slump to the ground. And then I don't know where I go from there, but I think I'll say that. Philippa gets the attribute strong because she held on to me long enough that I was able to cast the spell before I just got dragged away.
Okay.
I like that.
That in.
And you can't add it to physical, but you can add it to strong. You can also give someone a like or a hate, just so you know too, just so you guys know that.
I've been
Okay.
I've already had so much character growth. I was shy and meek, and now I'm brave and strong.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of the system. The beauty of the system is like because you fail or because you succeed, it actually affects you and changes you or
Yeah.
changes the people around you, and that's the beauty of it.
This is
So
great.
It's supposed to be guiding a story, right? So I think that's the goal. I think what happens after he lets go, like it happens exactly like you said. The whatever entity was holding your leg goes flinging out and hits the rocking chair. You see the rocking chair fall over, and then silence.
I'm gonna kind of scramble up back against the wall next to the bed and just like look around as if I can see the thing that is invisible.
Yeah, you're up against the far wall now, and to the right of you is the door to the closet, it looks like, and the rocking chair is in front of you.
I think I'll leave my spell book behind on the floor as well. And then I see that I've left it, I'm like, I'm not going over there.
Do we roll out of the bed now? Is that how that works?
You can.
I would say I'd come out from under the bed at this point.
I'm probably still muttering to myself. I am but a wilted flower. I pray for your beating heart.
Daniel, your leg hurts.
Ow! It's like an invisible guy. I don't know where he went because he's invisible.
Still think it's Alfred?
It could be being a real asshole.
Is there a
You
toy
never
box in this room?
Let me believe.
On the other closer to the bed that you're under, or that you were under, Calliope, there was. So there was a bookshelf that had like a little toy box cubby underneath it.
Okay, I'm going to walk over to the toy box and creak it open. I'm guessing it's not locked.
It's not. It was slightly ajar, so you could see that there were toys inside.
Great. I want to kind of creak it open. Is there one toy that looks significantly more used than another?
Yeah, a teddy bear. It's missing one of its eyes, and part of the stuffing is coming out of it.
Okay.
And now that you're by the bookshelf, you can see there's a row of dolls. They're all really creepy. It's those porcelain dolls that have the blinking eyes, and so they're all just kind of like blinking at you.
They see through me, my soul only. As I stare at these creepy dolls, probably dressed like one of them, no doubt.
Yeah.
And I turn around with this teddy bear in hand, hoping that maybe the child will react.
Maybe. You hold it out. Are you just like holding it up in the air?
I'm just kind of like, well, I'm showing it to them.
Okay.
And I kind of say, I feel like this is not the children's fault. They were taken from this place. Meaning the room itself, not the physical house.
Mm. Now that you have time to kind of look around at the bedroom, one of the beds looks like it is missing sheets. It's the bed closest to the closet door that's by Daniel, whereas the other two have sheets. They aren't tucked in or nicely made. It actually looks like whoever came out of those beds was rushing to get out. And the one on the far left looks like there's no sheets at all whatsoever. Like it's been stripped of all of its sheets, stripped of its pillows, stripped of everything. It looks like maybe it's a newer mattress, but obviously it's still been there for a really long time. So it's kind of gross still.
I could take a look at my leg. Is it okay?
You pull up you're wearing like jeans? Yeah, you pull up the jeans and then you roll down your socks and you can see there's hand marks on your leg. And
oh, that's weird.
Gross.
Ooh.
Ow. Okay.
It looks like bruises around your ankle.
Oh.
Okay, it's not okay. Those aren't kid-sized handprints. Okay, fine.
Let me help you with that. That looks like some bruising. Here, let me help. And I will cast a spell, Botanical Aid. And I pull out from one of the pages in a book. It's like a little small, like it looks like bookmarked as a small vial on a string. It has some herbs in it, and I cast a spell on it to just make this ointment that will, try to heal the bruises on your leg and the marks on your leg.
Let's roll for it. I think studious will probably work for you. Exploring nature.
Yeah,
I think those are the only two.
probably those two. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll for it. Dang,
Oh no.
a failure.
Oh, by one.
You give him this
Yeah.
ointment, and Daniel puts the ointment on his leg. Upon first applying it, it stings. What do you tell him, Phil, when it stings? When he's like, ah!
It's supposed to sting first. It helps with the aid. When you put on a scrape, it'll be fine. Don't worry.
At first, I'm just like, it burns. What is? And then he's like, I mean, it's fine though. I'm fine. This is okay.
Good. I knew it would help.
Daniel, yeah, you put the ointment on your leg. The entire time you're putting it on, it is painful. We're gonna slowly show the effects of what that failure is like throughout the
Oh no. I roll my jeans back down. I'm like, yeah, I can feel it helping. It's great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's a new one that I just picked up a few weeks ago, but it's been working so far. You'll be fine.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm. It's great.
It stings.
Sure that it's Alfred.
Ow.
You know when, I don't know if everyone has felt this before, but when you go out, like you've gone outside for a really long time and you're really cold because it's like been snowing and it's like really icy cold, and then you come back inside and you're like, your body feels like throbbing. It's like that, but like also painful.
Okay.
I
I go pick up my spell book and I'm like, okay, it's not Alfred, it's someone or it's something else.
It's gotta be someone
like-
big. Did you see the handprint? They call Alfred
Yes,
baby hands
I
at
felt
school.
the
That's
handprint.
a giant hand.
Yes.
I noticed it hurt. I was fine though, but it's gone now. But if he shows up again, just chuck some more spells at him. It worked, didn't it?
I'm just gonna straight up go to the closet where the children was crying from earlier and just
Okay.
check it. to
Yeah,
see if there's-
Oh, I don't know if you should.
It's right next to where Daniel was like sitting against the wall. And Daniel, when you get up and you start to try to like walk, you have a limp. Like it's kind of, it's gonna give you,
Oh no.
I think, add a physical attribute that is limp for now. But put it,
Oh,
you can
man.
put it in your other thing for now.
Okay.
It's not going to give you a minus to most of your rolls. It's only going to be for like specifically for this situation.
I'm sorry, Daniel.
Put it in like brackets so that we know that it's not actually a physical attribute that you have forever. It's just for short duration.
Okay.
Bill,
It's cool. It's a badass limp. He
you go
he
over
limps
to the
aw-
closet door.
awesomely.
What's your plan with the closet door? And I think Calliope's like holding the doll
Holding the doll, right?
or the bear, the teddy bear.
I'm gonna open it so that I'm not really in the line of sight, but the doll is. So I'm gonna kind of creep behind the door and not really look in at first, but just kind of very quietly open it.
Yeah, you hear the door creak open. You don't see anything. I mean, you can't because you opened it and you didn't
Yeah.
look in. Calliope, you do see something. You can't make out what it is because the door is not open all the way, but you can see like a figure in there, crouched down.
I like move the teddy bear, just my hand, like I put it off, like, and I go, come out and play with me.
You hear,
Is he gone?
I try to kind of talk as the bear. We scared him away.
Yeah, I cast a spell at him and he's
the
fell
doors
over and
swing
he's gone
open. The doors swing open. Phil, you go flying back into Daniel and you land on Daniel. Daniel, you fall over. It's like it's like dominoes effects. You all fall backwards. The doors swing open. Villa, Calliope and Hendrix are the only ones who can see this, but inside of the closet door, you see a small child stand up. He stands up like really kind of like body parts looking weird. And as you can see, like the nightgown that he's wearing has it's white and it has blood all over it, and you can see an empty hole where his heart should be. And then you see in his hand, he's holding it out, and he holds it up to you. And that's where we're gonna take a break.
Oh,
Oh, he ain't making it to the sequel. Not like this.
No.
Yeah.
So we will be taking a break really quick here for probably about right around 8 minutes. Make sure that you go take your bathroom breaks, get your water, prepare yourselves,
Coffee.
maybe take a little debrief. Reminder that we have Roll4It Con coming up November 29th through December 1st. Come hang out with us. We have a whole slew of special guests and a lovely schedule, so you definitely want to tune into that. And you know, we'll have our what do you call it? Fan art up on our screen during the break. We have amazing fans who have sent us a wonderful art. And I hope we get some Halloween fan art of these wonderful witches and all of the relationships that are occurring. It's been pretty awesome so far. Next round, we're going to be stepping up the spoops, so prepare yourselves for that. I was letting them wean their way into it. All right, we'll see you guys after the short break. Hello everyone, welcome back for the second half of Truth or Dare, our Halloween holiday special for Roll4It here. Hope you're enjoying it. If you are, make sure to give us a thumbs up, obviously if you're watching on YouTube, and of course if you're watching here live with us right meow, hit that follow button. We'd really appreciate it. It helps support us in a free monetary way, free way. If you want to support us in a monetary way, I have a cat that's attacking a window thing right now. If you want to help support us in a monetary way, we have a Patreon, and that kind of helps us support our stream, as well as you can subscribe to YouTube or Twitch to get some cool emotes, and Twitch also allows you to see the VOD right away. And of course our Patreon has a lot of other really cool rewards, like I'm going to be uploading a GM reward for everybody to see kind of my planning process for this game. Because there's lots of stuff they haven't experienced yet. Because I know you never know where your players are going to go, what rooms they're going to go into, things like that. So here we go. Oh, and of course, last but not least, Roll4Con 2019! Definitely come hang out with us, Chester, UK, November 29th to December 1st. We have awesome guests that are joining us. Some of them you see here on this stream right now. And then, of course, we have a schedule filled with extended shows and a meet and greet that you can meet us at live. All of that is on our Patreon. You can go check that out so that you don't miss out on any of the cool things. So without further ado, let's go into part 2. We left off with the Philippa getting knocked back by the closet doors, flung into Daniel, and the two of them, dominoes effects, fall to the wall, where Calliope's holding up a little stuffed bear that has like one eye missing and the stuffing falling out of it, and Hendrix is kind of standing beside her. The two girls looking forward at this apparition that they see in front of them as the closet door swings open. They see a small child kind of oddly come up from, he was like curled up, and now he's like made his way standing still, but the way he moves is very abnormal and weird. And as they finally see him stand fully up, his white nightgown is now drenched in blood, and there's a hole missing where his heart was, and he's holding out his hand, and you hear him say,
He took it from me. He took it.
I could be really angsty right now. I look at Hendrix kind of wide-eyed. The child misses its heart.
I'd miss mine too if it was gone.
I look at the child, and again, through the teddy bear, since that seems to maybe be working and we're not dead yet, I go, where did he take it?
With him. He took it with him. And then he took me too. And he will take you. You should run. Run. Go away.
What if we brought it back?
He's dead.
Her heart, silly.
and the boy steps forward and then disappears. You hear the two of you, probably see this. Daniel and Phil hear this. You hear the ruffling of bed sheets. Hendrix and Calliope, you actually see, it looks like something moves the bed sheets, and you can hear footsteps running out the door. And then you hear the door slam shut. And then everyone sees the door just slam shut. And you guys are all in the room.
Yeah, we were like behind the door, right? So we didn't see everything that happened, but we just saw the door slam at the end.
You're in the corner of the room. Yeah, like you didn't see exactly everything, but you could hear all of this happening.
Yeah, we were in a pile on the floor, like, oh,
in the corner of the room.
My leg, ow.
I'm like getting myself up off of Daniel, like, sorry.
I have a coworker named Danielle,
I'm
so
fine.
I like said Danielle instead of Daniel. Sorry.
Yeah, she kind of awkwardly like makes it extremely awkward, like sorry, so sorry, and just kind of walks away.
Like I limped to my feet. I'm like, I'm fine. It's fine.
Can I? Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm devious and I'm a hopeless romantic, and I see this happen. And in a pause, I have to cast something on one
Oh
of them.
no, I know what she's gonna cast
no.
on too.
Here we go.
I have to. It's just too good of a moment. As I squeeze this one-eyed teddy bear, I'm gonna cast Couplet,
No.
which, when cast on an individual, they desire to couple up with the next person that they see for a short period of time. I whisper, I see it happen, and I squeeze this teddy bear as if it's hugging me back. Heart, you once promised me for eternity to forever crush, not but a stolen kiss, and so I pray for Cupid's arrow.
I have a feeling maybe it's like you accidentally cast this.
I'm so in the moment. It's like
yeah.
spoopy moment of them coming out from behind a door. So I cast Couplet, and I probably should have written
Hopeless
it with
romantic for sure.
Okay, yeah. I did use
love
dark
it.
poetry, and
Dark
it's kind
poetry.
of
Finding beauty,
devious.
I want it
odd
to be a
places.
success.
Devious. I don't think it's devious. I don't think you're trying to be devious.
Okay.
I think you get hopeless romantic,
Oh, that's true. Okay.
dark poetry, finding beauty, and odd places because it is kind of a
Odd
weird
places
situation.
behind the door.
Yeah, it's like you're in the middle of a creepy house and you're like, oh, but there's love. Instead of like thinking about your life and the fact that you might die. It's fine.
right. As I squeeze the teddy bear of a dead child. Okay. Yeah, I'm so here for this. This is so exciting. Okay.
think
So
you
I got
broke
3.
Bob.
I cast it on Phil. I cast it on Phil.
Yes, you are casting it.
Yeah!
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
That's only successful skill for today.
I know.
You got a success. That means you get to explain what happens. Go for it.
Yeah, I imagine that you just like stumble out, and I like squeeze this teddy bear and enjoy this like dark poem of love and angst pours forth, and my purple like lips manifest, and they like kiss Phil right on the cheek, and Phil makes eye contact, and there's that moment of love between Daniel and Phil.
And Hendrix, you're watching as Calliope just recites poem and looks like squeeingly over at Daniel and Phil. And Daniel and Phil, the two of you catch eye, like you, for the first time, like really look into each other's eyes. And I'll let you explain what you do. You do you.
So Phil went from being kind of like the awkward, shy girl, making it very awkward, to suddenly her eyes change, her smile lights up, and she lets out a sigh and looks at Daniel. Again, I'm really sorry for falling on you.
It's-
something-
it-
I think something else fell as well.
It's
That's
all
good
right. I didn't
poetry.
even notice.
That's good
It's
poetry.
Who
No, he
knew
just
that
kinda,
our
like, he
holiday spoopy session was going to be the one that, like, they're just shipping things
You sure
along?
this isn't Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I'm like, what is happening?
we
can't
got them
stop
both
it.
covered. Yeah, he like as he's kind of brushing himself off, he just kind of stands up straighter and like momentarily like the twinge in his leg makes him stumble. He's like, no, I'm great. I fall over all the time. I mean, I don't fall over all the time. I'm always great.
I don't always fall, but sometimes I fall hardest when it's actually in the right moments. I'm
Do I recognize that this was a spell that was cast?
So
Oh, yeah, Hendrix.
just
You
to be
realize-
clear,
They don't
I look-
realize it, but you realize it.
I look at Calliope and I'm like, did you do that to me?
No, for our love transcends magic.
Oh,
So just to be clear, because you casted it on me, the effect kind of just is on me. Like I
Yeah.
kind of am in love with Daniel, but he may or may not reciprocate this, essentially.
Correct.
Okay.
That's true. Daniel, you do
Okay.
not have to reciprocate it if you do not.
Okay.
Okay. But
That's on
for
you.
now, yeah, so Phil will just kind of look charmingly at Daniel and yeah, that
The chat is like cracking up. As this is all happening and it's quite lovely and all of that, yeah, the door afterwards, or before this all happened, I guess, the door slammed closed. And then this happens, and all of a sudden you hear like footsteps running down the hallway, like the what you heard when they was running out the door. Now you hear it running down the hallway.
Well,
Is that the kid? What was happening with the kid? I didn't see. He ran off?
I show the teddy bear. The child suggests that we depart from the premises, for whoever it is coming.
that thing.
What?
Did you get a glimpse of that thing? Whatever it was that grabbed you.
No, it was like invisible, but I totally, I don't know, punched it in the face or something.
The
I
child
knocked
was...
it out. It ran off, or maybe it's unconscious on the floor and we can't see it
Wait.
because it's invisible.
You physically touched it.
Well, no, I casted a spell on it, and it was kind of a big flash, and then it kind of stumbled over the rocking horse. Look, it fell over.
So
How did
strong.
you punch him in the face if he had you by the ankle?
I spelled him in the face.
Oh.
Oh,
If I could
sly
see his
move.
face, I'd punch that too.
The child was sans its heart. It said that the thing, the one that you spelled, it took it. Stole it.
All the books on the bookshelf behind you, Calliope and Hendrix, go flinging forward. They fling into the wall on the other side of the room, next to the door. And then the bookshelf itself starts shaking, and all the toys start coming out, and they start flinging towards everybody. You all are like trying to duck. Some of you get smacked by a toy, and all of a sudden, at the end of it, the bookshelf itself flings forward, and Calliope's gonna land on you first because you're in the way of it.
Great. Can I do something?
I think you're in the middle of conversing,
Right,
so probably
that's true.
others probably could react first.
I squeeze the teddy bear.
so the bookshelf itself is coming at whom?
At Calliope. It's gonna
Calliope.
fall on Calliope, and then potentially you, Hendrix, after that. Like it's coming your direction. But Calliope's talking and telling you guys what was happening. And then all of a sudden, the books start flying off the wall, or flying off the shelves, hit the wall. Toys start getting flung, you're all ducking from them, and then all of a sudden the bookshelf is falling on Calliope.
And I react and pull that my way instead.
Ooh, you could, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Then
cast a
she's
new
kind of-
spell, or are you trying to, like, grab it
I want to use come to me, but just alter it just a little bit.
to be an object?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll allow that.
Okay. It's kind of stupid, but if she's not going to be willing in this moment since she's not focused on it,
Mm-hmm.
um,
I think bold.
yeah,
Maybe love story, because maybe it's like, you're saving someone.
sure.
I like
Sure.
that. Tall, because you can probably like reach over her maybe to get like hold
Yeah.
it, like to pull it your way. Let me check one more thing. Yeah, I think that's kind of it, right?
Okay. All right. So,
But is
come
it
to
a
me.
tragic love story? I don't know. We'll find out.
All life is tragic.
Partial success.
Partial success. Ooh. It happens, but I get to describe it.
Mm.
Yeah. So, Hendrix, you instead push Calliope down. Calliope, you go fleeing onto the bed that's closest to you, the one that you and Hendrix were hiding behind. You fall lightly on it. A little bit of dust flips up from around you, but you land softly on your back, and you can see this happening in front of you as you're holding onto the teddy bear. Hendrix, you rush forward your back to, you kind of like use your back to like kind of shelter Calliope, and the bookshelf falls on you. It hits your shoulder, and then you fall to the ground as it's quite heavy. This is like those old bookshelves that are like really like actually
Solid wood.
sturdy instead of like IKEA built, where
It's gonna break
it'll fall
for
apart,
sure.
and you can put it back together, but it falls apart really easily. And you're kind of pinned underneath this bookshelf, and your shoulder, it has a little bit of cut on it from like one of the shelves that like hit it perfectly, right? So
Oh man.
Okay.
Are you? Hendrix is like pinned.
Yeah, like there's a bookshelf on top of Hendrix right now. Hendrix is on the floor.
I dramatically toss myself from the bed to the floor next to Hendrix. I am on all fours and I peer under. I say, I will save you, brave soul. I'm gonna cast Metaphor on the bookshelf.
I'm gonna let Daniel and Phil first say what they would want to do because they're the only ones that are not affected by the situation. Like you are actually getting flung under the bed. Hendrix, she's getting like locked underneath this thing. So I'm curious what they want to do first, and then I'll let you do your thing. So unless you guys don't want to do anything.
So it's the bookshelf itself that's on top of Hendrix?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, yeah. I mean, first of all, I think I'll just run over and try and take the bookshelf off, pick it up.
Yeah, I would try to assist. Now that I have newfound strength, I will try to assist.
Okay.
As I see Daniel doing this, I kind of like, I as we're both trying to lift up the bookshelf off of Hendrix, I kind of like go next to him and grab his hand, and we like do it together type thing.
You touch his hand. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Philippa first.
I'm totally showing off as well. I'm just like, heavy bookshelf.
Let's see if you give Hendrix a benefit. So first do your roll, and we'll see if you give him a plus, a minus. If you help him or hinder him in any way.
Yes. I'm gonna say this cancels out.
Brave and strong, probably.
Brave and strong. Because I was thinking, because I'm petite.
Oh, that'll give you a negate. Yeah.
So it maybe would negate one of them. But...
Yeah. So +1 probably.
Okay. Oof. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a -1. All right. Your turn, Daniel, with a -1. And I'll describe how Philippe really helps you.
Yeah.
I got all sorts of stuff for this. I got showing off. I got sports. I got
you've got tough, resilient, sports, showing off. You're gonna get a -1 for that limp because you don't really have like, you know how like you normally use your leg and you use your body to kind of like wedge, like almost like a lever system, a leverage system, but your leg is pretty messed up, and actually you feel really bad pain. So I think +3 for sure.
Yeah, so +3, and then there's the -1 from Philippa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so +2 overall.
No, it's a +3 because it would have been a +4, but you got a -1. Woo, 17.
I got a minus
right.
for the limp, and I got a minus for the limp and for Philippa, right?
You know, Daniel.
Either way, it works.
You get to describe it because it's a success, and it's almost a critical success. So describe this in a very epic way. But also, I'm just gonna let you know, Phil did not help at all. She was she touched your hand mostly. She was mostly caressing your hand. That was mostly what was happening. And she was
that's fine. He could do this on his own anyway. He's awesome. He could totally do this.
Go ahead and tell us what it looks like as you lift this bookshelf.
Yeah, like he lifts it up, and
as you go to lift it, Calliope, this is when you kind of rush forward and you're like, "I will save you, my love."
Yeah, I don't even do anything. I just stand on all fours, speaking sweet dark nothings into Hendrix's ear.
Yeah, I lift up the bookshelf, and I feel like it's maybe like it's heavy, but it's not that heavy. But he acts like it's really heavy, just like ancient oak, super thick shelf.
Phil's hand kind of goes up to your
he lifts
bicep.
it fully straight, and then he throws it across the room.
You throw the bookshelf across the room?
Yeah, I'm like,
What a beast.
Take that bookshelf.
Okay, yeah, you throw this huge bookshelf. I mean, you rolled a 17. I'm gonna give it to you. You throw this huge bookshelf across the room into by the closet. One of the closet doors breaks. Part of the bedpost is kind of broken from the far bed, and the rocking chair that's sitting on the ground kind of jostles a bit. And then
I flex, and I'm like, you're gonna have to do better than that, ghost.
And as that happens, and as all this clutter is happening, you just hear this noise that you've heard before.
That's just wind.
It sounds
there is
like
wind
that.
coming through the windows, and it's very cold right now.
It might actually be Hendrix as she's stuck under the bookshelf.
Mm. Are you all right, Hendrix?
Yes.
Is it just the cut that I have, or how am I feeling here?
Your shoulder really hurts.
Okay.
I can help with that.
Like you helped with
No.
that?
Yeah. Yes, it'll be
I'll
fine.
take my chances.
Are you sure?
No,
Um,
I'm not sure about anything. I don't even know why we're still here.
I'm sure about something. I take the teddy bear, this creepy ass one-eyed, like losing the stubborn teddy bear, and I go, and I like kiss the side of Hendrix's face with it in a like small boop.
I grabbed the teddy bear. Fuck the bear, my shoulder hurts.
Your passion is palpable.
Oh, my wound is palpable. Please make this
okay,
better.
you know what? Let me at least try, please. I can't see you in pain like this. A botanical aid. Here we go.
Alright. Botanical
So-
aid.
Same thing. I get the vial out again with the ointment, and I cast a spell on it.
I think studious.
Studious in nature, I think is what
Nature,
I.
yeah. That seemed the most.
Okay.
And you're doing this on Hendrix. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say if you were doing this on Daniel, I might give you an extra +1 for the current situation that you're in.
You got this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Ooh,
success.
describe what it looks like.
So this time, I do like put a little bit of this ointment on your shoulder, and you don't feel any sting or pain. It just immediately the wound begins to close up so slightly, and yeah, you start to feel better now that this is this ointment has been put on you. See, nothing to worry about. Just Daniel, I'm sure yours will be working in a few hours. Just give it a bit of time. You'll be okay.
Like, oh yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Well,
I can feel that
better.
healing.
well, should we try to find that child? Or
I
try
really
to
think
find
we should try to leave.
But the dare.
the night is only.
No, fuck the dare.
Everyone knows that like schoolyard dares are legally binding, and
It's
Since
true.
when? The dare was to stay, not have bookshelves thrown at us.
if we
This
go
house
now,
is growling.
then
It sounds like Darth Vader is pooping through his mask. I don't like this.
That is not how it works. I don't think. Is it? I like look for confirmation from somebody.
Look, if we stay here and try to figure out what's going on, if we just leave now and say there were spooky things, nobody will believe us. But if we
You are the
actually,
three that dies in the movie.
we are witches.
We
We're
are
not just normal real estate people who come here and just disappear. We have spells.
We're also
Yeah, we
teenagers.
we
We're
can
basically
magic-
first years.
we
We're
can magic
freshmen.
out of this.
I have a spell that removes hair. Hair. Not a
That
spell
is-
that saves our asses.
very useful.
I already did that once. I already cast a spell on the thing once, and it went away. So we got this. And if we leave now, everyone will call us chickens.
Yes. And normally
can't-
I would
I
agree
can't
with
and
let
I
you.
only
Alfred one up
sacrifice
his-
those. What?
See,
We'll
Hendrix,
have to talk
normally
about that later.
normally I would agree with you, but something about this place. I feel like we should help that child. We should try to figure out what's going on here.
Can we at least try to see if we can get out of this place? I've seen enough movies to know that the door's not going to open, but at least let's put my mind at ease.
Almost
Fine.
on cue, the door swings open. A rush of air flings into the room, and something flies straight into Calliope. Calliope, you go flying forward into Hendrix's arm. Hendrix, your shoulder like hurts as you grab Calliope, And Calliope kind of collapses in your arms, and like she's heavy all of a sudden. I mean, she's small, but you feel all of her weight on you, and she completely falls to the ground. Her eyes closed. She's not breathing. You in your hand in your arms at the moment. Nothing is happening at the current moment. Like she looks like she might be dead.
I'm gonna cast a spell to. What's the nearest thing to me? Is it like there's some books on the floor?
You're standing over by. Oh yeah, because you're right by them. Probably the nearest thing to you would be one of the people or the bed. There's a.
Something small enough to pick up. If there's a book around.
There's
then...
probably a book on the floor because there was a bunch of books that got thrown in toys. So there's books and toys.
Yeah, I want to cast free throw. I choose an object light enough to be picked up in one hand and propel it in a direction of my choosing at great speed. I want to hurl a book at the doorway that just opened.
Sure.
Oh, I thought you were gonna hurl me.
Let's see, Daniel.
Projectile witch.
You are tough. Sports. I think those two make sense at this moment.
Can I get showing off? I know I get it every single time, but can I get showing off?
Trying to show? I don't think you're trying to show off. I think you're reacting to something. In the other cases, you were kind of showing off, but I think in this case, you're not necessarily. You're like
reasonable.
You're flight or flight, right? Like you're fighting instead of flying. You know, like running away.
It's a +2 then, right? For tough and sports.
Yeah, +2.
All right. Let's do this. Oh, there. 11 partial success.
Yeah, you fling a book in the direction of the doorway. It goes flying into the doorway, hits the back wall, and actually hits like a painting that's like hanging on the wall, and the painting falls down on the floor, and you hear this thump on the ground. And then you hear a noise that sounds like this again. But this time, it sounds like it's coming from Calliope. Calliope kind of leans forward from you, Hendrix, and you look at her, and her eyes are black.
I just kind of like, I'm expecting something from the doorway, and then I hear it behind me, and I just slowly turn.
Yeah.
Calliope sits up and pulls her quill out of her book, which is a metal-ended quill, like something that you might purchase, and she says, "Heart, knife death. There is only loss. Knife death. I beg
I respond
forgiveness."
immediately.
She begins like to try to stab herself.
Before she does so, I hem and sew. I'm gonna go with my hem and sew spell. I'm going to bind her elbows together through her clothes.
Nice.
Behind her back.
What are you trying to stab yourself with? Or
the quill.
The quill.
The quill.
Okay.
Yeah, the end of the metal quill.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use a couple of things here. Pretty much as I can. Can I use bold? Love stories. And I'm trying to be a hero at this point. I'm gonna go with movie nights as well as my bonus, unless you see something else.
I'll allow those.
Okay.
I think you.
Oh.
Ooh.
No.
Oh.
You try to stop Calliope from stabbing herself with the quill, and what happens instead of the sheet? Like you try to cast this on the sheets to like grab the sheets and like use some of that fabric around her to like tie her elbows, but instead you wrap your own arms up, and now you can't do anything with your arms until you like unbind your arms. So your spell works, it just works on you instead of her. So your elbows are bound together, and it actually really hurts because your shoulder's getting pushed in a way that it would normally not.
Can I try to free myself since it's not like it's the jacket? Can I just take myself out of the jacket?
Because your arms are your elbows are tied together because you basically what you were trying to do to her you did to yourself.
Yeah, I was just basically trying to make the elbows touch and hem the clothes together right there like that. So if I can just,
I guess maybe you could take off. Can you take off your jacket if your elbows? I think your jacket would still get stuck where the elbows are.
Oh,
like,
that's
tied
a good
together,
point.
Right,
That's
you know
a good
what I
point.
mean?
Yeah,
like I'm trying to think of like the.
Yeah. Then someone get me out of this.
I was gonna
She's
say
gonna stab herself!
upon seeing what just happened, I'm gonna try to help Hendrix. I don't know what Calliope's doing, so I'm a little
I get
worried.
up and just I get up, I drop the quill, and I begin very gingerly exiting the room.
Daniel, you chase her.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna stand in the doorway. You're not going anywhere. We're staying as a team.
Here's a
Pull the
question.
sleeves. Pull the sleeves.
I'm gonna try to break Hendrix's jacket or what he's wearing because they're sewn together. So I'm just gonna try to tear
So, Phil,
the
are
rips.
you doing this with a spell, or are you trying to do this manually? Like,
I'm gonna try to do it manually.
or like, normally.
Yes,
all right.
I
I think strong
strong.
is probably your only. Yeah, I think strong is probably going to be the only benefit. I'm not going to give you any negatives for this.
Okay. A partial.
Partial. You get it off, but it takes you time. So it's going to take time for you to, like, because you have to, like, Hendrix started taking off the jacket partially, but now it's, like, caught in the thing. So now you have to put the jacket, you're like, put the jacket back on, and then you're, like, trying to untie it. But Hendrix did a really good job at binding this. So you're, like, trying to figure out how to unbind it. And, like, you're basically trying to, like, you're literally ripping cloth in order to get it unbound. And it's going to take you some time. So while you're doing that, we're going to switch to what Daniel and Calliope are doing. And you had a question?
I just blocked the doorway.
Yeah, the question is like, how much am I this action that I'm attempting to complete? Will I stop at nothing?
You will stop at nothing.
Okay.
If PvP occurs, it will occur.
Great.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I think it does. Can I cast in this state spells?
Yeah. I mean, you are still you. It's like
Great. Metaphors. Okay, I'm gonna cast Metaphor on Daniel. As I try to exit, I put my hands on Daniel's chest, where he blocks the door, and I cast Metaphor.
So Daniel,
and
you're walking in front of her. That's what you said these words to her. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm blocking.
You're
I'm
not
blocking
going
the doorway.
anywhere, right? Okay. Cool. I just want to make sure you weren't casting a spell, Daniel, because you would have got the first.
I can react with a spell if
you can
I know
react
this is happening.
Totally can react with a spell. Yeah. Depending on how successful things are.
Yeah, I bleed a little from my chest where I tried to stab with the quill unsuccessfully, and put my hands on your chest and I say, "You once promised me for eternity, but say goodbye. For your body is like water." And I'm gonna try to make him like go jiggly wiggly limp.
Oh, cool. Paste the thing in the description. Also, Daniel, you can take the limp off your sheet now.
Oh, nice.
The effect of that medicine that Phil gave you is gone now. Your leg no longer stings like a mofo.
Shall I wait till after this has been cast to try and cast my response to it to avoid it, or?
Correct. Like she'll cast hers first.
Okay, because I want my cast is about trying to avoid the thing being cast on me in the first place.
Yeah, so we'll do yours next, and we'll see like the difference between them.
Okay.
Yeah, so I cast Metaphor, attempting to make his like kind of structural body like all limp and jiggly so that he'll collapse and I can walk past him.
All right.
Okay, here we go. I think I'm only going to get the one for dark poetry because
yeah, none of this is
anything else applies.
No.
Plus, I'm not necessarily in my right mind, I would say. So
no, you are not. You're definitely
we'll just
not.
we'll take the one on that. A partial success.
Partial success. All right, Daniel, you wanted to do something, right?
I want to cast Burst of Speed. Person of my choosing within sight, which presumably can include me, is able to perform a feat of speed, like running fast, leaping great distance. I just want to dodge being touched by the spell.
All right, let's see how it goes. We'll act it. This is kind of we're house ruling out this because normally we don't have PvP. Let's see if you can beat hers first, and if you can't, then she'll get her partial success on you.
Can I include sports as a bonus?
Sports. Yeah, sports. I don't think tough or tall is gonna help you in this case.
I'll take the one. It's a help.
Sports makes sense because you're running or dodging.
Dodging.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Partial success with a
both
12, so
partial
it's a
successes.
higher number. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. You do dodge. You do dodge, and Calliope, you do touch something.
Yeah, I do.
His sweater that he was wearing now turns into kind of like this watery, like you were wearing a red sweater. Is that what you said?
It was a red hoodie. Yeah.
Yeah, red hoodie. Your hoodie turns into blood and kind of like falls down around
Oh,
you
God.
into the ground and just becomes liquid.
Yeah, kind of. I dodge back from the spell, and then it just goes. I'm like, ah! What the hell?
Can I slip
What did you
past
do?
him when he looks down? Push past him or like get past him?
Yeah, if he's looking down and he's a little distracted, you could run. I mean, yeah.
Does Calliope run? I guess, you know what?
She just
She's
has to
not
run.
in her
She
right
could just
mind.
walk past him while he's looking down at himself. You don't have to run.
Yeah, she does.
Okay. She walks past you as you're looking down and going, "Oh, what the heck?"
That was my favorite sweater. It was red.
Red like blood. I still spout dark
You're like
poetry as I
walking
walk
down
down
the hallway. Red
Yeah.
like blood,
Wasn't meant to be that literal. And then I'm gonna follow after.
Okay.
Is she still working on my sweater?
We're gonna give them, yeah, like they're gonna get down the hallway a bit, and then we'll come to your guys' scene. So
Okay.
the two of you, Daniel, you say that you follow her. Calliope, you're walking, and where are you headed?
I'm guessing I know where I'm headed, but I would be headed towards the kitchen.
So
Or
Calliope's
possibly,
gonna
yeah.
start walking down the staircase again. She gets down to like the first landing that you guys went to, where like the clock is, and Daniel, you're like right at the top of the stairs as you go to follow her. You were like a little distracted, obviously, and you're like shouting and following her. I'll give you guys a moment, and then we're gonna go back to what Phil and Hendrix were doing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow down the stairs. Like, what are you doing? Stop! And I'm gonna like go around in front of her and like snap my fingers and be like, "What are you doing? Why are you walking downstairs?"
Daniel, Calliope, you just keep walking.
Yeah.
Daniel, in front of you, on the landing as you start going down, the whole landing looks like there's just a pile of snakes on it.
Ah!
You back
I'm gonna
up.
scramble back up the stairs.
Yeah, you scramble back up the stairs, and you just see this pit of writhing snakes that are down at the bottom of the staircase.
Yep, I'm gonna run up back to the top and then just like hang over the banister, like, what the hell? There's snakes here.
Calliope, you're in the middle of the bottom staircase, and you look up. You can see the snakes, and you can see Daniel at the top.
I note it. I'm probably make some dark quip about slithering and snakes and our souls being lost in a house of, cards. And then I continue down towards the hallway.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to hear what your cute quip was going to be. I was waiting for the snake poetry.
Yeah, there it is.
We pan back upstairs. Phil, you finally rip the last piece of cloth off of Hendrix's arm. Hendrix, your arm hurts so much. You think you might have broke something.
Okay. All right. I could chase after, but I've just heard him scream down. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna push my body up against hers. I'm gonna throw my arm around her, and I'm gonna grab one of these squares of mirror because I tossed that other square of mirror down at the bottom of the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And if they went the opposite direction, then they're probably going down that part of the house. So I channel my character's inner father, and I say, "Buckle up, sweet cheeks," and I try to move us to the other
I
mirror.
will say this, you won't take her with you. That's not how that spell works. It only works on you going through the mirror.
But can't she cast it with me?
Yeah, she would have to cast it. It would have to be like a circle that you do together.
Okay.
So I paste it in chat. And Phil, you'll get this
Yes.
spell as a level 0 spell for you, since you
Okay.
do not know it. Phil will cast it first, and then if she gets minuses or negatives, or pluses or negatives to it, that will affect your roll, Bub.
Okay, so
So add that to your sheet, and then we will roll yours first.
yes, I don't know if I have anything that would add to this.
Oops, I think I just unclicked your thing. Let's see. This isn't the outdoors. I would say exploring would make sense, but maybe brave. Like
I was gonna say brave.
Yeah.
Brave is probably the only.
The only thing. I don't think any of your other spells really are similar to this.
Okay, so let us roll for it. Okay. Failure.
Okay.
Failure.
Well,
okay,
I'm
that's a
casting regardless.
-1 for you, Hendrix. So let's look at what you've got. What are you adding to this, you think?
Flirty, bold, confident, love stories, and her dad.
I don't think flirty. Why your dad?
Because my dad does this regularly, and she dislikes him, and she doesn't like using all of this kind of movement spells if she can avoid it. She mostly likes to pull people to her, not go to other people.
Okay, I'll allow all of those minus the flirty one.
Okay. All right. So do I get a negative for Philippa then?
Yes, you get a -1 for that, so you'd be at +3.
Okay. Here we go. 16.
Ooh, success. Yeah, you do the action and you get to tell us how it looks. So tell us what this looks like. Keep in mind, Phil is not casting the spell very well.
Okay, so she's probably
you're
not going to go
carrying.
with me. Oh, I am. She is going, but I'm carrying her with me then.
Yeah, you're carrying the spell.
Great.
Like she fails at she makes it harder for you, but you are successful in it anyways.
So it's the same like wink, like I wink down at her and my thumb twiddles over the mirror. And when I feel myself slipping into the mirror disc itself, I can almost feel her slipping away out of my arms, but I pull her tightly closer to me, and it moves us to the opposite mirror down at the bottom of the steps. The other mirror will remain in this room, but now we're sitting at the bottom of the steps. I'm assuming she hasn't made it to the bottom of the steps yet.
You are, because you threw it down, you put it at the hallway by the staircase, so you're right next to Daniel now. So all three of you are together at the staircase. You all see snakes on the landing pit of the staircase below you, like the part where the grandfather clock was. Now there's like a bunch of snakes there. Three of you. And you can see Calliope kind of like walking down the hallway, and you can hear her boots tapping the floor.
Can I just go?
You just go, okay?
I'm not particularly afraid of snakes.
Yeah, go for it. Phil, what do you do?
I
and
like
also,
snakes.
Phil, you no longer feel like the weird tingly feeling that you did before for Daniel. But I mean, maybe you do like him on your own, so maybe that's why the spell was more successful. I don't know, but that's up to you to decide.
The real snakes, and I slip and fall.
But you're no longer like sparkly eyed, like you need to.
Yes. I think I'd like to create a spell for this. As one of my likes for my character, she loves animals, all sorts of animals. She's not biased, so even reptiles, snakes. I think what I want to do is have a spell where I can, like, animal sense, almost, not that I can speak with them, but almost that I can, like, feel if they're hostile, feel if they are friendly, and almost shape how they
like animal empathy type of thing.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, exactly.
You could make a spell that is speak with animals too.
I was thinking that. I think if that's okay, I'll add that as part of the spell, that I can speak with them, or speak and have.
It would be two different spells. So one would be speak with animal, or one would be like animal empathy, right?
Let's do speak with animals for this particular situation. Okay, so speak with animals. So I will add. I will add the animals that I like them, and nature that I like them.
Yep.
And
I think
brave.
brave. Yeah, you're trying to, because you see that Daniel is like clearly afraid. And you're like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So +3.
Okay, so let's roll. Uh, 12.
All right.
Partial success.
So I would say that with the partial success, you can't talk to them and hear what they say back to you, but you can give them a command or tell them something, and I will allow them to understand what you're saying to them. But you won't understand what they're saying necessarily because they're snakes and they're not talking to you.
So, just so I know, where's Calliope right now? Is she down
She's
the
walking
stairs
down the
already?
hallway. She's got those boots, and those boots are made for walking, and she's
So
walking.
So she's at the bottom of the stairs.
She's going down the hallway now.
Okay.
Like I said, you could hear her boots hitting the floor down the hallway downstairs.
I am going to command the snakes to follow her.
Ooh.
Just go in that direction.
Shout, you're just gonna shout, "Follow her."
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel, you hear Phil kind of make like snake noises, almost like snake tongue noises.
Like parcel tongue.
Yeah, and then the snakes kind of all their heads writhe up, and there's like 4 of them, and they all kind of, they wave back and forth simultaneously together as they're watching her.
Oh,
and then
that's creepy.
They do back to her, and then the 4 of them kind of slither down the staircase. Hendrix, you're right behind these snakes, and now they're going down the staircase, so you're just following them in suit. You heard stuff in the background. You're not sure what was going on with that. You heard Phil making weird snake noises. Now the snakes are moving. You can make assumptions from there. It's not really metagamey. It's you guys are witches.
Did you just talk to the snakes?
I did, yes.
Okay.
I like snakes.
I don't.
It's okay. They won't hurt you. Don't worry.
It's the end of that ship.
The 3 of you here.
All right, I trust you.
The 3 of you here in front of you down the hallway.
Is that upstairs?
No, it's down the hallway,
it's down.
and it's coming from where Calliope started walking. Calliope, you've walked down the hallway. You're now going towards the kitchen. You walk into the dining room, past the dining room. You walk straight into the kitchen. The kitchen itself is this really small room, actually, compared to the dining room, which is much larger. To the right of you, you see a old stove with like a little oven that you can open and close. There's some other side drawers of it. There's a large pot that's sitting on top of the stove, and a small like tea kettle that's off to the side of it. The ground is made out of wood, and it's really old and kind of stained in some parts. The walls themselves are half tiled along the sides, and then the other part is like this interesting wallpaper. Some of it's like torn off, and you can see like the wall that was behind it. It looks really gross. There's a clock that's on the wall above the stove that's, it's like a circle clock that's old, and it doesn't look like it's actually working. It's stuck on 3 o'clock. On the left of that is kind of this countertop with one small wooden chair that's sitting in front of it. And on the countertop is like a tray thing with some plates, but the plates are like gross and old. Everything looks nasty. That's what you see in front of you.
There's not like a knife block or anything out on the counter. Will I need to start going through drawers to find one?
Not that you see. Yeah, you start opening drawers. So
I probably do it very melodically, like one after another, looking for the perfect tool.
Yeah. You start opening the drawers. The first drawer that you open is empty. The next one you open has like something in it, but you're not really sure what it is. It's not a utensil. And you make your way until you do find a sharp object. A bunch of like steak knives and butter knives and forks and spoons.
Pull a rather large, probably either steak knife or like chopping knife of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess
At that
Yeah.
point, when you're holding that, Hendrix, you're gonna get to where you can see Calliope. You can see her in the kitchen. You're like standing in the middle of the dining room because you're all rushing. I'm guessing the snakes are in front of you. The snakes are now in the doorway. Behind Hendrix is Phil, and behind Phil is Daniel. And you guys can react as you wish.
Can
Is
we
there
see her holding the knife?
Yeah, is that
Yeah,
what we're saying?
you see her maybe like creepily turn towards you. She's
I got the
smiling.
spell for this. I want to cast Expel Arms.
Nice. Do
Made
it.
for. Bloop. What can I have for this? Let's see.
This is great. Flying knives.
Well, yeah, there is the issue that the knife goes flying, but hopefully away from you and maybe also away from us.
Well,
Yeah, let's hope we don't
let's
roll a
roll
failure.
for it and see how successful you are with it.
Yeah, I don't know what to add to this. I don't know if I can add anything.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
see. Daniel. You're tough, so maybe the throwing would work for that. Sports maybe. Just throwing things. Probably that's it.
Okay. I'll take
And you get a
those two.
-1 because there's snakes in the scene, and you.
Oh yeah,
you
that
hate
makes
snakes.
sense. I hate
As he's
snakes.
casting that,
Okay.
is there a window by chance?
Is there a window? Yes.
Curtains?
There are curtains.
I'm gonna try to curtain her hand.
Ooh, okay. Let's resolve this,
Yes.
and then we'll
Go
do
for it.
your curtaining. There's not a window. There's not a window in that kitchen, but there is a window in the dining room, and that does have some curtains on it.
Great. Third time's a charm.
Daniel, that's a success. You tell us what it looks like when you do this.
All right, seeing the knife, I steel myself against the fact that there are snakes present, and I'm like, I got this, and I pull out the spell book and quickly flip to the page it was on before, and go through the incantations, and then throw my hand out in the direction of Calliope, and there's a flash, and her hand flies open, and the knife flies out off to the side, and like embeds itself point first in a cupboard nearby, and just goes twang.
Nice, I like that. I like the twang at the end. And then Hendrix, you wanted to cast.
I'm gonna go for a third time on him and so
Yeah.
cast
If
it
you,
again.
if you get a third failure, you level it up, right?
I think is it 5? I thought it was
Oh.
5 failures.
It's
5.
5 failures, 3 successes. You're
3
right. You're
successes, yeah.
right. You know my system better than me. Look at you. Yeah. So let's see.
I think the only thing that might apply is like confident, perhaps.
Confident. Yeah, confident for sure. I think you're being. Yeah, confident for sure. Love stories, right? Like if you do have feelings for her, like you're trying to like.
Stop her from hurting herself.
I think I'll allow you to do the love stories in the movie nights, just because like those are your thing, right? Like you love
Yeah.
watching like movies and and you love reading love stories. I think those 3 things work for you. All right.
Okay, let's give it a whirl.
Let's do
Are the
it.
cards?
Good luck, bub.
Yes.
13. Ooh, this is a very successful group, I will say that. Yeah, explain to us what it looks like as you pull the curtains from one of the windows in the dining room.
See the dining room window, and I snap to the curtain, and I point directly over at her hands, and it starts grabbing one hand and then the other, and then wrapping it up against her head,
Okay.
like wrapping up her whole head.
Calliope, your arms are bound above your head, and you definitely feel the urge to grab the knife that's now dangling in the cupboard.
But I'm like wrapped up.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll just have to make what I need. I'm a witch for Pete's sake.
Oh shit!
Uh,
Bentham's face was the greatest. He's like,
so, realizing that with this being bound, I can't get what I want. I'm gonna use illusion, like to allude to something. And basically, the spell, I reference an item, thing, or person and attempt to manifest it for a short period of time. So I'm like bound up in this thing. I'm like, Mail of Confluence, yes, and manifest a knife, not but a tear, not but a gift. And then I'm going to try to manifest the knife I need. So I'm like, It is dark poetry. There's a +1 there. I feel like that's the only one I'm going to get while I'm in this state.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Somehow, Dot, you're more successful when you have less.
I really just need to stay possessed is what I'm
you
hearing.
should stay possessed forever. It's great. Tell us what happens.
The knife manifests. Are my shoulders and everything are bound too?
I think it's just your hands, right? I didn't think it was on your face.
Hands, no,
hands
like
are bound to
up
your
the,
head.
To the head. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can still talk.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this knife actually manifests and it pierces through the curtain and I burst free, knife in hand. But that's probably all I managed to do in a turn. I can't actually stab myself.
Yeah.
But that's the next goal. I've raised it high to pierce my own gut. And I
my
probably
God.
The
say
moment
over
where,
again.
where we're like, there we go, got it covered, and then, nah! Oh no, we didn't!
Yeah, and I just keep repeating, heart, knife, death, there's only loss. Knife, death, I beg for forgiveness! As I like
Block her
raise it
mouth.
high.
Phil, I'm gonna let you do an action because I think you're the only one who hasn't done something yet.
Yes. So
You have your snakes too. You have 4 snakes.
I
that
was-
you
Oh my God.
can command
I
in.
was gonna say, it's up to you if the scene is up and I have to command them again. I can roll again for the spell, but I was gonna tell the snakes to go to Calliope and just like surround her and entangle her if they
Okay,
can.
like wrap around her. I think
Yeah,
you
wrap
have to roll
around
it-
her.
You have to roll for that because I feel
That's
like
fine.
that's another
Yeah.
command for sure.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go with the butterflies, like butterflies in her mouth.
Oh,
That's not, yeah. That also is not a bad idea.
Ugh.
it's
But
not a bad idea. Yeah.
since I brought the snakes here, let's see if they can help. All right. So speak with animals. I have that I like animals. I like nature. This is
So-
again a brave action, and that we'll go with those 3. The same
Let's
that
see. You're gonna go with animals, brave. Yeah, for sure. I think those are probably the 2. Yeah, for sure.
and nature.
Yeah, a little nature.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Let's roll this.
A whole new meaning to butterflies in your stomach. Nice.
Success.
Dang, girl. All right, explain to us
Woo.
what it looks like. They're really trying to save you, Dot.
So I
Thanks, gang.
once again do the weird snake talk, and how many snakes would you say were there?
There were
on
4.
this- There were 4 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. The snakes immediately start moving towards Calliope, and just they're pretty big snakes, I would assume, not just little garden snakes.
Yeah. They were scary
And
snakes.
They begin constricting her. All 4 of them on all 4 limbs.
Okay, so
what-
you have one on one leg, one on the other leg, one on both of your arms, and so
yeah.
the arm that has the knife is like also. So you're kind of like being held down by these snakes, Calliope. All right.
Like
The
bound to
wolf
my
doesn't
side,
appear.
or they're just constricting around my body.
Yeah. So Calliope, I think you're up next for something to do. I'll kind of like
Okay.
go around in action since it's
Okay,
the scene is
well, I
pretty
can't
intense.
I was about to say I can't get to my body because of all the snakes. I suspect they're just like winding up and around me. So I start stabbing the snakes.
Yeah, you start
No!
stabbing the snakes,
No!
and you guys hear this noise as she's trying to stab the snakes.
Stop it, Calliope.
There's got to be something here. Bloody knife, steel cold, like the fangs of a snake.
Yeah, I don't think you even have to roll. You're stabbing them.
I'm just like stabbing them. Yeah.
Yeah, you're stabbing like the one that's like holding the arm that has the knife, and you're just stabbing them. That snake slowly disappears and slithers away, and you all just see all of the snakes all of a sudden disappear.
We have to stop her. Okay.
I got this. Old-fashioned way. I'm just gonna run up and grab her arm.
Yeah, I'm gonna help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything that I can immediately grab? Because I'm gonna stuff it in her mouth.
Yeah, you grab a dirty washcloth that's like in
Oh,
the sink.
no.
It's gross. You shove it in her
Oh,
mouth.
God.
The 3 of you hold. I'm not gonna make you guys roll for this. The 3 of you hold her. She's kind of freaking out, and you just hear her like kind of shaking back and forth until the point where she starts convulsing, and then all of a sudden, like, her mouth opens up, her eyes are black still, and then her eyes slowly fade back to normal, and something grossly and black comes out of her mouth. And you just see this entity kind of floating above her. Calliope, you go limp again in their arms, and you just hear this sound again. And the entity kind of flings forward out the door, and then the four of you are left there holding her for a moment.
I'm immediately going to remove the cloth from her arms and head and bring her to. Come on, wake up. No laying down on the job right now, sweetheart. Come on.
Oh, don't cry for me. I pray for each passing day. I pray for every single day. Don't cry for me. I sit up.
All of the cupboard doors open. All of the drawers open. The oven doors open on the side, and anything that was inside them starts flinging and coming towards you all. You're either going to have to rush out of the room, duck.
Jesus Christ for us!
What do you guys all do?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I feel like I'm probably a smidge confused.
Yeah, you're out of it. So.
I simply I'm gonna stand and go, where is my teddy bear?
You were possessed by that entity. Something just came out of your mouth and went through the door.
I'm good. Are we
thought it tasted
are we still in
odd.
the room? Are we? Do we have to get out?
You need to get out, otherwise you're gonna
okay.
Okay,
there's
yeah.
there's stuff being flung at you like knives.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm armor
Yeah,
crawling
let's
out.
go.
Burst of speed.
I don't care if it splits my pencil skirt. It's fine.
I
Cast
care.
burst of speed.
I care a lot.
All right, yeah, you all rush out of the room. Are you guys going into the dining room, or back into the living room? What's your plan from there?
There's like a door. There's probably a closer door to the dining room, right?
The door takes you into the dining room, and the dining room takes you into the hallway, or into
I got it. Oh,
or into
okay.
the
Oh, I
living
see.
room.
I see.
There's like a door that goes into the hallway, and then there's an archway that goes into the living room.
Yeah, I would just say I into the dining room, just behind another door between it and all the knives in that drawer.
Yeah, you guys rush out of the kitchen, slam the door closed from the kitchen, and you're standing now in the dining room. When you look around in the dining room, and you can hear things flinging onto the door, and you can hear some stuff like getting penetrating the door, and some of it you can see like a knife like halfway out of the door, and you're like, oh my god. When you turn around and you look into the dining room, to the left of you is this large window that now doesn't have a curtain. The window itself looks like it's dirty and hasn't been washed in a long time. On the far left wall, there is like kind of like a serving table type of thing with two lamps on each side, and above it is like this huge mural that looks like a beautiful painting. It's nothing specific. And then all along the walls are like a bunch of family photos. It looks like photos of different lineage of some family. They all look very similar. There's a fireplace below on that far wall, below a large painting. And there's this long dining room table that fits 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people. And it looks like the dining room table was at one point dressed really nicely, but now the candles are kind of like old and dusty. There's like cobwebs on it. There's dust. The flowers that were in all of these vases are now like wilted and dry, and that's what you see. Oh, and there's a rug at the bottom of the table and chairs.
So no sign of where that entity went, right? That weird black.
Not that you can see her at the moment.
Okay.
I'm just I'm holding the door closed, and then a knife goes next to me, and I'm like, stop holding door closed. Just like put a latch on it, whatever.
You could put like a chair in front of it or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I prop it with a chair.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Nice.
You take one of the chairs and prop it up.
So you were trying to kill yourself?
Oh, how morbid.
There were snakes.
Yes.
I love snakes.
You stabbed them.
No!
repeatedly.
I like shout out.
I agree. That was. I don't know where they came from. I wish I was able to speak with them. I
They
understand.
manifested.
Magic snakes.
Yes. And there was this weird black thing that came from you. I don't know where.
Possession.
Yes, it looked like it.
You hear whistling. Sounds like it's
Is it
coming
like
from the
a-
hallway.
Does it sound like whistling of wind or like just a person whistling?
Sounds like a man whistling.
We are being summoned.
Let's go. Let's.
Yeah, well, we've beaten it before, kind of.
Yeah. Before stuff starts flying at us in this room, maybe we should just keep moving and not pause too long in a room.
So you guys are gonna go out to the
Surprised with-
hallway where the whistling's
Yeah.
coming from?
Yeah.
You open the door and go out the hallway to where the whistling's coming from. The hallway in this hallway that you're in has one door, and that's kind of the only door that you can see. And the whistling sounds like it's coming from behind that door. When you get up to the door, you feel like this really cold sensation around you.
The cold embrace. He is here.
And then you hear footsteps.
Anyone got a good spell for dealing with something like this?
No, but we could make one up.
Hmm.
I've got a good spell for getting us out of here.
Let me think. So, I would not know that it was. Let me double check the message you sent me. Okay, because I was not possessed by him, right?
No.
All right, so. Usually, to expel a spirit, it must possess in physical form and be exorcised.
Isn't that kind of what happened to you? You were possessed?
Did you officially exorcise it?
We stuck a rag in your mouth.
I think it just kind of got bored and left.
It's a pretty dirty rag.
Take that as a metaphor.
Yeah,
And
your mouth
not.
tastes gross right now. Flabby.
Wonderful. I have the faint taste of old age and mold.
Definitely moldy.
I don't think if we did exercise it, it's still here. I physically saw it.
Would I be able to denote it wasn't him, it was the woman? In terms of the possession?
I think you'd be able to tell. I mean, you don't really know what each of the spirits is like, but you could tell that the one that consumed, like that took over your body, wanted to hurt itself.
Okay.
Hmm.
I can assure you, I sought to hurt myself. The man, he seeks to hurt others. I don't think the spirit that left my body was him.
Yes, the man, he hurt Daniel, and the child was afraid of him.
There's too many damn ghosts in this house. Is the entire
Perhaps-
family ghosts?
We need to take care of him, get rid of him somehow. And then maybe this place can be at peace. It seems that there's much unrest. I don't
Yeah.
know how.
I missed that course. I'm not super fresh on the exercising thing. So, unless somebody else knows how to do that,
I too am not very well versed in this type of craft, but
How do we feel about murder?
You hear whistling.
I feel like that's already gone and happened.
I don't think it's murder if it's a ghost. They
But
already
if
died.
we help it gain physical form, corporeal placement, we can kill it.
But
It's true. We could make it a person again if it's a ghost.
I guess it would still be a ghost, right? So that'd be fine.
I think so.
I'm bringing it
I
back to
was
life, so we're
thinking-
not killing it. So it's okay.
Well, I was thinking we might just bring it back to life.
In that case, why do we need to do the killing bit at all? Then they're alive again. Also, that seems like something we can't do, but sure.
Well, we could try.
You hear scraping on the door in front of you. On the outside. Or on the inside.
Or we could just kick that door open and throw a bunch of stuff at the thing.
Or maybe there's something in this house that we can use to get rid of it.
Daniel, the light that you had lit starts flickering around you, and all of a sudden you guys are in darkness. You
I think
hear
my spell's running out. Oh, damn it.
you
Hold
hear
on.
along
I
the
can do this.
walls all things falling from the, and you feel shake, like it feels like the hallway is shaking, and everything on the walls starts falling off in the hallway onto the floor.
Hold on. I could just recast it. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm gonna try and cast Making Light of It again.
All right, let's see. Making light of it.
Would my insecure account for this? Where I'm like, I really don't want to be in the dark.
Yeah,
This is bad.
I will agree with that. You don't want to be in the darkness.
Do I get anything else?
I don't think you have anything else for this one.
Uh-oh. Alright, let's give this a shot. Success, 13.
Ooh, there you go. The light turns back on as you guys all saw normally. And now, as you look around, you can see all of the painting, or all of the pictures that were on the wall are on the ground now. And at the far end, you can see a woman standing there. She looks like she's wearing like business attire, and this actually looks not like the other people. The other people had kind of like a different era, like the 1920s era. This person looks like much nearer into your era, actually. They look like they're wearing like a two-piece suit, and they are holding like a clipboard, and then you see them.
I know what this is.
You see them kind of like jump out the window.
She's new. Oh, there she goes.
Can I go try running up to her or to the window?
Yeah, you run up to the window and you look down. There's nothing, and the window looks intact.
She's gone.
Is she telling us to jump out of the window? Wait, no, she's dead, which means she tried that and it probably didn't work.
Oh, they say all good things must end.
I don't want to end like right now. I feel like I've got a few years yet.
You hear scratching on the door.
This
Is
thing
the window open?
No.
Can we open the window?
Yeah.
I will.
Hendrix walks over to Philip and opens the window. You
I'll
unlatch
open
it.
the window about that much.
Yeah, you unlatch it and push it and slide it up a little bit.
I'll huck one of those glass squares out the mirror piece.
You chuck it out the window. Takes a little while, and then it lands on the ground. You can't really see exactly where it landed, but you know that it fell on the ground somewhere.
Well, there's the escape plan.
That works.
Escape, but we have not helped the children.
We can't help them if we die.
But we cannot help them if we leave.
We might be able to. We could at least figure out how to handle this. Unless we just want to form a circle and make up this exorcism on our own. Or we can bring... Can we bring a ghost back?
Can we bind it to something?
But if something breaks, will they be freed?
An exorcism seems like a whole lot of work when we don't know what's going on. What if we just ask some... There seem to be quite a few ghosts around. What if we ask them what's going on, if they know?
A seance.
Yeah, that's easier.
A good seance.
We could try and see if there are other children Because there might be other children around to try to ask them.
We could ask the lady in the suit or anyone. There was a lady in the picture. Like, it could be a different one.
Perhaps
Same one.
Perhaps we can try to summon these children.
Ooh, you're gonna
Or-
summon the children?
Yes.
So is the
I
plan
don't know
to
if the
do
kids are
kind of
gonna know
like
what's going on.
a little seance circle type of thing?
Yes.
So
okay.
to try to talk to them.
Like
Sure.
if we want to go back up to the room where the children are and maybe grab one of their items,
Oh, I want that teddy bear.
or like the teddy bear, and try
Okay.
to summon.
Yeah, let's
their
go
spirit.
in the kids' room. We'll bar the door and we'll try and ask them what's going on.
I like that. All right. So what are you gonna use to bar the door?
I think I just push
There's
the
a
bed up against
bookshelf.
it.
Bookshelf.
The bookshelf?
Oh, no,
Okay.
no, yeah, bookshelf.
The one that he chucked.
Brrr.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for sake of time, obviously, we'll fast forward. You get up the stairs. You do hear some weird grumbling and sounds, and you still hear the whistling coming from downstairs in the basement. The whistling does get louder and louder, and the scratching gets more intense from downstairs. You all border up the room, close the door, you shove the bookshelf up against it, maybe some of you helping each other. You move kind of everything to the side and you make a circle and you have it in the middle. Maybe you take some of the candles from the chandelier thing up at the top and you put them down and you use them. What's the name of the spell that you guys are going to use? You have the little teddy bear in the center.
Since we're trying to talk to kids, I
Mhm.
was gonna call it. I was gonna do some kind of like ring around the rosy style like game.
Okay,
Like,
I like that.
That way-
riddles or like yeah, like
Yeah, that way it doesn't call any adult spirits.
yeah.
Who
would-
wants
it-
to be the leader of casting this spell?
I think Calliope, since you are the
I would
poetry goddess, you might know some children's
Yeah.
poetry.
This seems like
Ooh.
very up her alley.
Oh yeah, this is definitely, I can see that if we're making it a poem. Let's do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay, dark poetry, and I would find beauty in odd places.
well, everyone
like
has to cast it first, and then you get to
Okay,
cast
so
it.
what do we
Let's-
call this?
Everyone name the spell. Let's put it in our spell books. Everyone will get this as a level 0 spell, including the main person casting it. So everyone's gonna be at level 0 since this will be a new spell.
Okay.
We'll call it children's rhyme.
Children's rhyme. All right, I like it.
Okay.
And this is to summon a child entity.
Yes. Okay.
And then let's start with Daniel first for casting this.
Okay. I don't know if he gets anything for this.
I think you're just flat rolling it.
Yeah.
You're resilient.
Yeah, that can
That
maybe
could
work
be
actually.
beneficial.
Go with that then, just a +1.
Yep, just a +1.
Give it a shot.
Give it a shot. 14. That's a
Success.
+1 for
14.
That's a +1.
Nice.
Bill, it's your
Love it.
turn. Let's see.
The only thing I'm thinking is studious. I don't think.
Yeah, I think studious because you're trying to do a rhyme. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, I'll do the one.
14.
Also a 14.
Another success. So that's 2 +2. Hendrix.
I'm guessing that I might be able to use movie nights and bold here. But can't see much else.
Yeah, I agree with those.
Okay. And this is children's rhyme. Oh boy. No pressure. Partial.
Ooh, nice. So the partial doesn't give her a bonus. The 2, you get +2 to your roll. But everyone is pretty helpful. No one has like hindered your roll in that
That's
sense.
good. So 2, I'm gonna also, because I'm gonna do it in poetry, so that's dark poetry for me. And she I guess we like grab hands and we kind of like almost like dance around in a circle. And Calliope says, 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for secret never to be told, 8 for a wish, 9 for a kiss, 10 for a surprise you be careful not to miss, 11 for health and 12 for wealth, 13 beware. He's the devil himself. I'm gonna cast it. Is that 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did you add the
okay.
+2 from them?
+2 plus dark poetry would be my third,
yeah,
right?
okay, 3. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Ooh, all right.
Success.
Right. Everyone kind
One
of
of a full
repeats,
success.
and we just hear this poem repeating and repeating and repeating. No voice is really wavering other than maybe Hendrix shaking a little bit. And the 4 of you sit around in this circle. The candles themselves flicker on and flicker off and flicker on and flicker off, and you can feel this energy around all of you. The beds around start shaking a little bit. Even the bookshelf, you can feel a thud against the door and a thud against the door, but the bookshelf is holding it in place as if something's trying to get through. And then the teddy bear slowly tilts its head, and the stuffing kind of like comes out of it a little bit more, and then it tilts it back up and it blinks its one eye, and it looks and it says,
You called me. Oh,
With
We're-
rhyme.
rhymes? My mother always read me rhymes.
Where is your mother?
I heard her scream. I heard her scream. I heard her scream. I heard her scream.
and you just the bed starts shaking more, and then you actually you see the doors on the closet closed completely. One of them
Ooh.
halfway on the hinge because of Daniel, who broke it before from throwing the bookshelf, kind of falls, and you just hear the door kind of fall to the ground and kind of jostles you all a little bit.
Who hurt her?
You hurt her. Father hurt her. He hurt me too. He hurt us all. He tried. All the time. He hurt us. Shh, we aren't allowed to talk about it.
How do we stop him?
What if we hurt him?
You can't hurt him. He's big. He's strong. You can't hurt adults.
We're basically adults.
Adults don't help. They think I lie. You all think I'm a liar. You think I'm a liar. They think I'm a liar.
No, you tell the truth. Tell the truth, right? Right, everybody? I look at
Yes.
everybody.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we want to help. We know
Yes.
you're telling the truth.
We just. We know you're not allowed to talk about it, but what did he hurt you with?
The teddy bear's head spins around and, like, stops at each of you and blinks its one eye at each of you as it spins around. That's pretty creepy. And it says,
You believe me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I told Mommy that he hurt me, and she said I fell down the stairs.
We know that's not true.
He told me I had to tell everybody that I fell down the stairs.
Whoa. What is your name?
Johnny,
Johnny.
Johnny, what if we tell everybody the truth for you?
you would do that?
Yes, because the adults, they're not bigger than the truth.
How will you tell them?
you all hear pounding at the door, and you hear this sound of that groaning again. And it it grows louder and louder as it slams against the door.
All great truths are written into story. You didn't get your story told. Let us write your story, and we'll leave it behind, right, everybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
And we've got a way to get out of here, and then we can tell everyone what happened.
And then we'll share your
Everyone will
story.
know.
What do I have to do? What do you want me to do?
Tell us what happened and we'll write it down.
I break out my book and my quill.
The teddy bear turns and looks at the door as like the door is getting slammed.
He's coming.
Tell us quickly. We will write it down before
I can
he
try and
comes.
hold him off.
He hurt us all the time. He was angry. He smelled of whiskey. I was scared. We always were.
You hear the door thudding more. And are you gonna kind of, Daniel, go and like hold the bed?
I'm
or
I'm
hold the-
guessing now it's okay for me to like stand up and move around, and it won't like ruin the seance or
Yeah. Are
anything.
you gonna try to like hold the door from being? Because it's
Yep,
like
I'm just
the
gonna
door
go-
is coming
just
slowly
gonna go-
ajar.
Yep, I'm gonna like slam it shut and back against it.
Anyone else want to assist him?
I'm writing as fast as I can.
Yeah.
I can try to help.
All right. Hendrix and Daniel, let's either roll me a spell that you're gonna do together, or if you want to if you're just holding it up, Hendrix roll first and then assist Daniel.
I don't
What's your
think
guys'
I
plan
have
here?
any spells. So I'll just throw my.
Always make one up.
This might be just a brute strength kind of thing.
All
Because
right.
if he's really real about it, he could just come through that door.
Yeah, I
Goes
think
his way through.
you're tall, so we can give you that.
Okay.
Confident, bold. I think movie nights kind of fit with this. Yeah, +4.
Oh well,
Try it up.
I'm on it. I'm trying it.
And then Daniel will see. Woo! All right, that's huge.
Nice.
I'm gonna give you a +2, Daniel, for
Nice.
the assist
Nice.
from.
I hope I don't
Hendrix.
mess this up now.
Yeah. So you are tall, tough, resilient. You have sports. I think 4 plus the 2, so 6.
Can I get a stubborn in there? Does that work?
What's the give me the plea for the stubborn?
Nah, he's not letting this guy in. Damn it! We're doing this seance. He hasn't got a say.
Everybody gets shown
Okay.
up by a
All
girl.
right, I'll
We're in
allow it.
charge of
That's
this
a
room now.
great spell. A seance without your say. Oh, that's so good.
7. I like it. I'll allow it. That was a good.
Yeah,
a good
doing
plea.
it. All the dice or all the bonuses.
Woo.
Critical success.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Nailed
so
it.
you explain exactly how you want it to work, and Bub, you can also explain how you assist. It's your guys' story at that point. Go for it.
Take
Yeah,
lead,
like
Daniel.
as Hendrix runs up, I'm like, hold it a second. And if Hendrix holds the door, I just run over and like get one of the beds and just like charge at the door with it and like lift it up against the door and lean that as well, and then back up against that as well.
And I'm
A
going.
a
I'm
door and a
definitely gonna be helping.
bookshelf and 2 people holding this door shut.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you wanted to add to that, Hendrix, with that 18 critical? Oh my gosh.
No, I can't. I don't think so. I think this is just perfect.
It's perfect. Hendrix, she's assisting Daniel, and Daniel's like holding up the door, and you just hear this thudding against the door, but the door slowly went ajar, but they were able to hold it closed, and it goes slamming shut again. You hear the groaning sound of that whatever that entity is going, as it angrily gets mad from whatever's not letting it in, and the little boy continues to tell his story.
I just yell out, "This isn't your house anymore!"
Calliope jots down everything word for word as Philip kind of draws more of the story out of the boy in order to get more answers.
Nice.
Ask questions and the boy answers, and time passes as quickly as it seems like almost too fast, but also still an eternity all at the same time. And all of a sudden, the pushing and barging on the door stop. And the four of you are in the room. Quietness for but a moment, until the whole entire house shakes. The windows burst. You can hear shattering of glass all around. The large bay window that's in front of you, or that's, well, in front of some of you, behind some of you, the shattering hits the ground, but none of you are like hurt. It's just glass starts kind of falling from the windows as it shakes. And you hear this loud scream from the basement.
We've really upset this thing now.
Good.
Does the screaming from the basement die away and there's just silent?
Yeah, it's silent. And the teddy bear goes limp. Falls
It
over.
might have done better than that.
The lights and the candles flicker out.
I pick up the teddy bear and squeeze it once again in like a single arm. And I snap the book closed. And we have truth. We have to go to the basement.
And as you guys look out the window, the curtains, one of them slowly kind of fluttering as the wind goes in, and you can see your breath coming out as you talk, Calliope, and all the rest of you see that. You can see the sun slowly rising.
We did it.
Wow. We stayed the night.
We lived out our dare and we got the truth. I shake the book.
Now can we go?
I think it might
Yeah, we
be
can go now.
it might be safe to go.
I think we should tell somebody.
Yes. Mhm.
Your fervor is effervescent.
I am oozing fervor.
Yes. Perhaps we should go the way you set it up, Hendrix, rather than just going out the front door, because I don't think that thing's gonna want us to leave.
Just right there. How's everybody feel about learning a new spell?
That sounds like a plan to me.
Can I
I
use the
run back
bear?
over.
I hold the bear.
Yes. Let's
All-
do it.
All right.
The bear actually slightly moves. And it feels like to you, Calliope, and only you feel this and notice it. It feels like it's hugging you.
Oh.
And then it goes limp again.
I missed part of that. There was a little break. Something and it went limp again.
It feels like it hugged you, but only you can tell that. When you asked if you could keep it. Sorry about that.
No, that's good. It makes me feel even better knowing that I'm not like taking a child's toy that it's been somewhat gifted, or not that she totally would take a child's toy, but it's fine. Okay, I immediately grab Hendrix's hand, laced fingers. Teach me something.
Feeling rather a fluster. Oh, I will. Now we can talk about those leashes.
All of you, go ahead and paste that spell into the chat, Bub, and then everyone copy that over. And Bub, I'm guessing you're gonna guide it since it's you're the one that has the highest level in the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else, copy that down, put that in your sheet. We'll go one at a time. So we'll start with Calliope, who eagerly was wanting to go through this.
Okay.
And see
I feel
what...
like I'd need an Alice in Wonderland poem, like the Jabberwocky or something, to go through the looking glass. Okay. I step up. I probably say something like, truth manifest and we reflect upon ourselves just like a mirror. Like looking through the looking glass. And I have dark poetry. I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic. I don't know if that counts since I'm hand in hand with my
I
crush.
think it does apply to this
okay,
situation.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Those are, I think, the only 2 I've got. And let me make sure that's at a level 0. Okay. Here we go.
Wow.
Partial success.
Doesn't hurt it. Going down to Daniel. Daniel.
All right. I don't know. Could I have showing off for this? I feel like this is I'm gonna ace this spell.
Yeah, sure. To learn it, sure. And I probably might say resilient too, because that's a good one for like survival, and you want to get out of here. We're
done here.
Yeah, you're done. You wanted to get out. Ever since you found out that this wasn't a trick.
All right.
Ooh, another
Partial
partial.
success, 11.
Doesn't hinder.
Was it a negative? I'll take it.
Yeah, better than a negative. All right, Phil. You're up next.
I don't have too much for this, I think.
I think studious. You're like, but you've done this before. So I
True,
think
that is
studious
true.
is good. I think that's probably the only thing that really helps you.
All right. Alrighty.
Oh,
Oh, a
Nice.
success.
Ooh,
So I add 1.
15. So yeah, Hendrix, you get a +1 to your roll.
Perfect.
Second time's the charm.
I feel like I go up and I'm like, oh, I totally got this, and then try and put the spell together, and I kind of do it, but it doesn't quite work. And I'm like, damn it, I screwed up. And then
Right.
Philip is just nails it. I'm like, god damn it.
Then the insecurity
show
set
off
in
here.
again.
Yeah.
This is my life,
Got
Bentham.
time to worry about that now.
Too real. Stop it.
All right, so my bonuses.
Oh.
This is pretty much all I've wanted from the beginning. I'm going to be very flatly bold, confident. This is the end of our movie and potentially even the start of our love story. And I'm-
my God.
Dot's just like, this is too good.
and it's just I don't. Can we change our own our own things like our like my hates?
If you critically success, yes.
Okay, because
It can be
Despite
any one
my-
of the coven, because you guys are a coven together, yeah.
Right.
despite my hatred of my father, this is the one thing I'm grateful to him for is this utter Totten movement. So I'm going to use heaps of bonus. I'm just going to get a lot of bonuses here.
We love it. Make it so.
Well, let's
Save
look
us.
at your spell. We're looking at flirty, bold, confident, love story, movie night.
So 4 there plus the 4.
That's 5.
So you get
Fifth
5
one
plus
from Phil.
Philip, 6
So plus
plus
6.
Wow.
Yep.
This is the moment.
13.
Nice.
And
Thank God.
oddly, Hendrix, Philip is somehow casting the spell even better than you.
I'm
And
okay
she
with
just
that.
learned it. She failed it the first time. She was terrible, but some of it must have retained because she killed it. The other
Fast
two,
learner.
not so much, but they didn't hinder you in any way.
Got to start somewhere.
All right, tell us how it works. This is your thing.
So this time, I guess, since everybody's upon this and we're all kind of grouped up in our smaller circle, I'll push the glass forward, the little mirror square, and make sure everybody's thumbs on it. And I tell them to get to rubbing. And I wink to all of them and finish the spell, and we warp through.
Each of them rubs their thumb on the glass. I need I want an image or like a fan art piece of the 4 witches like holding a glass shard in this little kid's room that's like with the barred up door. Like this is just like a movie scene. I
and then-
freaking love it.
Right?
You do it zoomed in on the glass with their faces reflected in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, so good.
Calliope holding the teddy bear closely, and the 4 of you appear down at the bottom of the house in the backyard, where you can look up and you can see that window that is slightly cracked with the glass shattered from it. Glass kind of on the ground a little bit and pieces around you, but you're outside. The outside air smells cold and it's like that autumn fresh air, but for some reason it feels amazing and smells amazing because it's like you're being reborn. As
I'm
you
in my
look and
element.
peek through the trees, these like long, thin trees that are leafless, with their branches, barren, you can see the sun peeking out in between them and kind of shining through in like rays of light and freedom. And
Woo,
I think
nailed it.
that's how we're gonna end the show. After word spreads about what happened, Calliope kind of writes up a story about it.
And I send it to the local newspaper.
Yeah, the manor ownership is given to the township and has been kept as a historical keepsake of the town of Talford over the many years. People come to visit the small town to experience a night in a haunted house, while others stop by for a tour in hopes they'll get a glimpse of something supernatural to keep themselves safe from harm. That's how we're gonna end Truth or Dare, the Halloween special for Roll4It. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I hope you guys had fun playing a little bit of Witches and Spellcraft. It's a pretty
So much spoopy.
And Hendrix and Calliope live happily ever after, and Philippa and Daniel live happily ever after.
Yep, perfect.
It's
Oh,
a weird,
yeah.
Yeah.
We all go
It's
to
a
the
weird-
Halloween dance together.
Yeah.
it's a weird relationship. I can already tell.
It's pretty amazing. It was a lot of fun. And you guys were awesome to play with and really respectful of each other's time too. Because sometimes I think like the only problem with this is that it can get a little chaotic when everyone wants to do something.
Right, like casting spells. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and
Such
thank
a
you
cool
all
trick.
for watching our special. If you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to give us a good thumbs up, hit the bell, subscribe, all of that jazz. We really appreciate it. It helps support us in many ways. If you're watching this on Twitch live here, definitely give us a follow. It's a free way to support us. Of course, we're on social media at Roll4It and all of the places. So be sure to follow us over there. We tell you guys what's going on. I'm going to be putting up my GM post on the I guess Bentham will probably post it. I will post it to social later next week, probably sometime. Bentham, I don't know.
Yeah, we got some open slots.
Yeah, so then you'll be able to see kind of like my planning process. There's a ton of rooms that they never explored. There's things that happened that they never saw. So you can kind of check that out. And if you're interested in it, go over to our Patreon and subscribe over there. We are pretty much powered by Patreon. It like allows us to pay all of our cast members equally and fairly, which is pretty amazing. So we could not do that without all of your guys' support. I think a lot of us try to do these type of things full time, and it is not an easy feat. And they have cats. You have to feed our cats, and in Bentham's case,
Lots.
rabbits. So I think that kind of covers most of that stuff. And of course, sharing it with everybody, that's a great way to help support us and get more people to know about the wonderful roleplay that we do here. And thank you guys for all the kind words about GMing. I was really nervous because I haven't GM'd on Roll4It in a while. We're going to go around and let everybody say where you can find them, and then while they're doing that, I'm going to look up tips, and we'll talk about those if we got any tips and read off the messages from that. So we'll start right next to me, which is Calliope, played by the beautiful little red dot. I always killing it with the cosplay. Tell us where people can find you at and what you're up to.
You can find me at Little Red Dot on Twitch and Twitter, where I spend the majority of my time rolling dice, telling stories, and getting to share in awesome networks like this one. So you can catch me like literally throughout the week. And I've got some pretty exciting announcements. Well, one was made today. Yay! But I've got another one coming up very soon too. So you can tune in there and get to see that.
Nice.
Okay. And then next up, we've got Hendrix, played by the one, the only Bubbernot. How you doing, Bub? I hope you enjoyed this, and of course, let people know where they can find you at.
I loved it. Today was a lot of fun. I didn't know what to think of it at first, but it sunk home pretty quick, and I enjoyed it. I'm all over the internet as the Bubbernot. You can just Google me, and I'm on Twitch and Twitter and Facebook, pretty much everywhere, and I'm constantly doing tabletop stuff. I am very happy to see myself over to the UK. It'll be my first time leaving the country.
Me too, Bub.
So I'm super excited
Wow.
about it. Yeah.
I know.
Very, very excited about it. And
And can we just
I'll
talk
have-
about how you rock purple, by the way? I
Yes.
just have to say that out loud.
You rock it.
It goes so
Killing
well with your
purple.
hair. It's great.
Also, yeah, I loved your character. It was great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope that Hendrix was well received. I know that it's even a bit of an odder name, but it's something that I talked about with my wife. It's potentially like our first daughter's name, so I went with it.
Oh.
But
I like it.
Bub or not, everywhere, just find me, come hang out with me. I've got Discord and all that jazz. It's open for everybody.
Awesome. And of course we have Philippa, played by Miss Magitech, the shy witch. I loved her. I think she had the most progression of a character on the show so far.
Yeah.
Tell us where we can find you at and what you're up to.
Sure. So I'm Miss Magitech. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Miss Magitech. I do play a lot of tabletop games. I very much enjoyed this. I'm not a very skilled GM. I've never really GM'd before, but I feel like this is a system where I could be a storyteller, and I might actually try it for Halloween, like with some of my coworkers. Like maybe we could do like a little one shot like this, something like this. So I might draw some inspiration from you, Maggie, to do this. But I feel confident, like this system. I feel confident in, because it is a very collaborative thing. So
yeah, it's meant to be like a group storytelling thing. Like the head witch is supposed to like guide it, but like everyone should have a say in how it goes and feel comfortable with it. And you all have to. Normally you design the school together and you design the teachers together, and kind of like the whole thing comes together as like a group effort. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I very much enjoyed it. So thank you for having me on today.
Yeah, no problem. We just simplified it for this thing because we wanted to make it go quickly. And of course, last but not least, we have our wonderful admin over here on Roll4It, who kicks butt on our Patreon and does a lot of amazing work on our Discord as well. Daniel, played by Bentham Plays. Where can people find you and what you're up to? Besides planning for Roll4It Con.
Yep, that's all happening now. It's still been happening for a little while already. But yes, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Mangleport Gaming. It's where I play lots of games. Usually they're about factories, because factories are the best. There's Factorio and Satisfactory, and there was Factory Town. Maybe I'll bring that back. And Volcanoids and cool stuff like that. And also often on the Saturday morning streams, though I missed this one. Sorry. It should be on for next week, though, I think. Back doing those and more streams just throughout the week. Now that my cough is basically done and hopefully this cold doesn't become an absolute nightmare,
gave it to me.
I'll
Now
actually
I'm
have
sick.
stuff to do. I know, I've transmitted it. It's become a computer virus and spread to you.
Yeah.
My apologies, but I've had a cough for like a week. It's never happened before. I'm getting old. Oh no.
Oh no. Your immune system's dying. Yeah, I'm now
No,
sick.
I need it.
But I just took some Dayquil. I'm like, I'm gonna make it through today. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all of the places. Super simple. I do a lot of tabletop stuff. I create games. I make tabletop games. Obviously, this is my game, which is in Spellcraft. You can get it up on Tabletop RPG for free if you want, or if you want to help support. It's up to you. Let's go into tips for today's show. We have from The Bottle, $12.34, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, which I love. Truth or Dare? ? We have from Vo 5100, $1. Oh dear, Moonlight Sinatra playing. They're all dead now. I'm glad you saw that. It's like a version of it. It's really fun. And then, of course, the first Blorg said and provided us with $6.32, saying, Miss Magitech GM on Roll4It. Hi. Roll high. Maybe. That'd be cool sometime.
One day, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe you can do Witches and Spellcraft. You can GM for us. And I think that's it for tips. We're going to go record an after show, which is one of our Patreon rewards. It is awesome, so you should definitely go check it out, our Patreon. We'll be posting all of those up on our Patreon and letting you know on our social media whenever those are live, where you get to find all the behind-the-scenes goodies. Beyond that, find us on Roll4It, all the places, like we said before. We hope that you keep up with us. Tomorrow we have Blades in the Dark, awesome action. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be fantastic. Bentham and I are both on that show as well. We are not GMing, but we are players on it, and it is quite fun. I love that system so much. So come check it out, and we'll see you guys then. Doodles.
Bye, guys.
Bye.